The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Joe Burrow to the New York Jets. Adam Schefter says, wait, it could actually happen. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Oh my
God.
Lord. Sauce tweeted, New York, it's been real. They just signed him to an extension. What?
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. We'll give you a pick for the Raiders and the Broncos coming up in this show, but make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't done so already. And a reminder that the show is always available in audio form on either Apple or Spotify. Just search the Jake Asman Show and you can listen back to the podcast for anything you might have missed. Let's say hello in his weekly Thursday spot to our guy, Dylan Tereman, who's the host of the Believe in Jets pod and also his own YouTube channel, Talking Jets, Talking Draft Year Round. DT, how we feeling?
Jake, I'm doing well. You intro me every week, and you usually use Dylan Tereman Experience. I got to figure out a name for my YouTube show, man. Whether it's, Jets related, draft related, as we slowly transition into the draft talk. I got to figure out a name for my channel, but happy to be on. Glad to talk some Galaxy brain takes given up by Adam Schefter today.
I'll tell you what, it might be Galaxy Brain, or it could be the start, to quote Adam Schefter, of an arms race as the New York Jets now have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. So here's how I'll set this up. I have seen some of the people speculating about the Jets going after Joe Burrow and all that, and I'm sitting here being like, really? But they do have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. And this was brought up on ESPN today to Adam Schefter, and he didn't rule it out. So here's the full clip. We're going to play it and react in real time. And notice Schefter's comments here. He's not exactly saying there's no way it could happen. Here's Adam Schefter on Get Up. Here's the full segment. We'll play it and then react.
About how the Buffalo Bills have a superstar quarterback, Josh Allen, no one debates it. You talk about how the Patriots seem to have an emerging superstar quarterback in Drake May, certainly seems like it's going that way. Yeah. And then you said the Jets, with their 5 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts, are going to get their next quarterback, and that's something the league has to worry about. I can tell you right now that if I showed you my phone, all of the Jets little group text chats that I'm on, all my Jet fan friends, including Alan Hahn on the radio in New York, said to me the other day, the quarterback they want is Joe Burrow. That they think these delusional Jet fan friends of mine believe that with all these picks, they're going to pry Joe Burrow out of a situation in Cincinnati. And I keep telling them that is ludicrous. But I feel like I owe it to them to at least bring it up at the table.
To look for hope. Well, here's what I would say to you right now. We have the New York Jets sitting here with 5 first-round draft picks the next 2 years, with the capability of doing whatever they want at the quarterback position. We have the Los Angeles Rams sitting here this offseason with 2 first-round draft picks. We have the Cleveland Browns sitting here this offseason with 2 first-round draft picks. We have maybe an extra quarterback in San Francisco. You're raising a question about Joe Burrow. There's questions in Arizona. We still are waiting for Trevor Lawrence to prove himself. This is a league that always has quarterback questions. This now, as much as ever, feels like an arms race with teams positioning themselves to make big moves for quarterbacks, whoever they are, whenever they are. We saw this week that anybody can be had. We saw that teams are willing to go nuts to get their guy. So why is it going to stop there? When it starts there, it's not going to stop. It's only going to increase. And there are some teams out there that have some major ammunition to go dangle to make things happen.
Not anybody can be. That was beautiful. Joe Burrow cannot. No way. Jets, try all you want.
I think it would be crazy for the Bengals to trade Joe Burrow.
Outrageous.
That being said, he's ended the last 3 seasons. They won't make the playoffs. He's ended 3 seasons on IR. If you're able to get a king's ransom, I could see it not being a 0%. I don't think it's smart. I was there when Carson Palmer.
Let me ask you a question. How do you think
we had Andy Dalton, and we flipped all these draft picks into what is probably the most successful stretch for Bengals franchise history from 2011 to 2016.
Go, Schefter, go.
We're just talking. How do you think Joe Burrow feels about the Bengals defense and the offensive line that's protected?
I'm asking you a question. If I were Joe Burrow, I would want out of Cincinnati.
You would?
Yes. If I were Joe Burrow, that doesn't mean Cincinnati would be obliging to that.
Hold on. That's where it gets interesting. Because if that's what he wants, and we have no idea what he wants, but if that's what he wants, it's over. It's over.
Wow.
And we have finally awakened our favorite companion, Salty Schefter, has entered the conversation. And there's nothing we love more.
Yeah, any player,
I get your point. Yep.
Any player, when they're determined enough, if they want out, they're going to get out.
Micah. Yep.
As a Bengal, I'm very frightened right now by what you're saying to me.
Think about that, though, right? He's not saying there's no chance he could be moved. Now, my original thought was Cincinnati maybe looks at their team and goes, we need help everywhere. We have Burrow, but we can't win with him because our defense is terrible. The Jets give us a boatload of picks. We're seeing our offense function with Flacco right now because we do have these 2 stud receivers anyway. But that wasn't there's no way they would ever trade him. That wasn't a no way, the Jets would have any shot at him. Gun to my head, do I think the Jets are going to be able to trade for Joe Burrow? No, but Schefter's not ruling it out because that tells me that he's got a pretty good idea that there could be some major fireworks coming this offseason with some of these veteran quarterbacks. Burrow being the best one by far, I get it. He's been hurt. But if you're the Jets, you have to explore it. You're not. He's going to be 29 years old to turn 29 next month. This guy's been to a Super Bowl. Sure, he's been banged up in his career. But you know what? When he plays, he's a top 3 player in the sport, and you have a good offensive line already in place. And let's say, Dylan, hypothetically speaking, it took 3 first-round picks to get Joe Burrow. Okay, 1 first-round pick this year, 2 of my 3 next year, throw in another second-rounder, and whatever. I'll get it done, and I still have a lot of draft capital even after acquiring Joe Burrow and so much salary cap space, even absorbing his contract. So do I think this happens? No, but I don't think we should just shut it down immediately because when you have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years, these are the type of conversations you now can actually have if you're a Jet fan.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, that was not a discussion of definitively, yes, Joe Burrow will go to the Jets, or definitively, no, Joe Burrow will go to the Jets. There's always a non-zero chance in the NFL and really any sport, honestly, because it is an entertainment-based business, that things can happen. Random things happen all the time. We just saw Sauce Gardner get traded less than 90 days after signing his lucrative contract with the Jets, and obviously they tried to get out of the contract before it really even started. But it just goes to show that literally there's a non-zero chance of anything happening in this league. And when it comes to Burrow specifically, yes, let's just say it's literally 0.5% chance, right? That right now, November 6th, that Joe Burrow is leaving Cincinnati. 0.5% chance. Okay, that's fine. We don't know what the rest of their season looks like, okay? They have Joe Flacco putting up a ton of points in that offense, which is leading at least their fans. I hate this, Jake. I don't like the jersey swaps. It's way too early. We're all going to get let down. But the Bengals fans themselves are already starting the conversations of, is Joe Burrow the quarterback we need in this offense, right? They're seeing Joe Flacco at 40 years old do what he's doing right now in this offense with the weapons they have. What's to say they can't go get another guy and do similar things on a cheaper contract or whatever, right? So that's their fans already creeping into their mindset about Joe Burrow. Now, the next element of this is their front office. I talked to you about it a little bit before we went live. There are 3 total general managers, and I'm using that term loosely, general managers who have been employed longer than Duke Tobin at their position in Cincinnati. Duke Tobin was hired in 2002. Okay. That's the same year Mickey Loomis was hired, right? And Mickey Loomis probably should have been fired a while ago. The only other two guys are Elliot Wolf in 2000, who really was not the GM, right? Bill Belichick was the GM. And then you have Jerry Jones in 1989, who is everything for the Dallas Cowboys, not just general manager. So he's been there a long time. If this keeps happening with Cincinnati, where their defense is shit and their offense is putting up points, but they're still losing games, right? We don't know what the next 9 look like. There is a chance that Duke Tobin could get fired, right? That is another conversation that Cincinnati Bengals people are currently having. That would also lead to potentially Zach Taylor being fired as well, right? He's been on the job since 2019, the year before they drafted Joe Burrow with the first overall pick because they sucked in Zach Taylor's first year. We just don't know. And I feel like that's the entire conversation. I'm not sitting here saying Joe Burrow is going to be a Jet. I don't think you're sitting here saying Joe Burrow is going to be a Jet. But somehow in the comments, definitively, we do or do not have Joe Burrow. And I absolutely love how crazy we get as Jets fans. Because like I said, does that 0.5% chance become slightly higher if they fire their GM and their head coach?
Did you have Sauce being traded 2 days ago? No one saw that. Things happen in the NFL.
Right, exactly. So this whole conversation is literally to just get people talking. But the only part I will agree with Adam Schefter with is that once these conversations start, they don't stop. And it starts outside, right? It starts with the fans. We're just in the schoolyard, shooting the shit, trying to figure out how to better our teams, right? We're just joking around at the end of the day. I think the Kyler Murray stuff has more legs than the Burrow stuff, obviously, but then that creeps into the NFL circles, right? And all of a sudden executives or scouts or whoever are talking about the Bengals internally about what they're going to do. Like all of this conversation could end up going nowhere. And Joe Burrow could be, not stuck in Cincinnati, but stay in Cincinnati. There's a chance he could get moved. There's a chance a lot of these quarterbacks could get moved that we didn't really see. Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, CJ Stroud could get moved, right? There's so much like weird conversations about these quarterbacks specifically, but when teams are desperate, they will offer up a king's ransom for Joe Burrow, right? The Deshaun Watson contract was like 3 1s and 6 overall picks. So like anything can happen. I'm probably going to say it's a 0.5% chance, and I'm not going to cling to that 0.5% chance. But am I going to hate watch the Bengals in hopes that maybe that 0.5% chance becomes higher? Absolutely, I will. So, yeah, if Joe Burrow ended up being a Jet, I'd be happy. I think the veteran route for the Jets specifically, and we can get more into this at a later date, the veteran route for the Jets is so much better at quarterback than trying to find their young rookie. And I know people will fight me on that, but, where is the history that proves that the rookie quarterback works for the Jets? I think the veteran quarterback works for the Jets outside of maybe Chad Pennington. So it's tough for me to sit here and, get excited about Joe Burrow, but it'd be fun. It would be fun.
I'm not ruling it out. And this team's 1-7 right now. So I'll at least entertain the conversation. I would trade 3 1s for Burrow.
If it was one of your ones this year, a 2 this year.
Well, let's do the conversation, right? It would be the Jets' first pick this year, their own pick, not the Indy pick.
Pick 3 or whatever they are so that they can get a quarterback. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to look at, if we're actually going to put together a trade that for the Bengals to consider, you have to give up the Jets' first rounder this year, which, let's say, for the sake of the conversation, it's in the top 3. So Cincinnati gets their quarterback of the future. I would absolutely trade away 2 of my 3 1s next year. They wanted a 2 this year. Now that I have 2 second-round picks, yes, I would trade my 1 and my 2 this year and 2 1s next year for Joe Burrow. And guess what, people? I still have premium picks left over even after that. So do I think this happens? No, I don't think Cincinnati's going to trade Burrow. But Schefter, it sounded like what he was trying to intimate without saying it, because he doesn't have it, verified to go with it to the air.
Right. He's not trying to speak over his helmet. Yeah.
It's like he's basically, it sounds like implying hey, if Joe Burrow has had enough and asked out, this could be real. Not that Cincinnati would trade him, but that Burrow pulling a Micah, Burrow pulling a Deshaun Watson,
Quinnen Williams. Who knows if he's doing the Quinnen Williams thing right now? He could have already told Cincinnati he doesn't want to be here, and they're just quietly playing it out. Like we literally just saw this with Quinnen Williams. I just don't understand how all of a sudden, bang, a no trade clause means that he gets to choose. He can default on that no trade clause. The team cannot. He can. He can choose.
I'll tell you what.
Would he want to come to the Jets? Probably not. He probably wouldn't want to come to the Jets.
Here's the only pushback, Dylan. He'd want to come to the Jets if he believes in the offensive line, and Burrow's a star, man. Like you said, doesn't he seem like a guy that would love playing in New York. I mean, he's 29 years old. So I know people are going to say, we tried this with Favre and Rodgers, and in 2038, we all know Jordan Love is going to be our quarterback. I get it. but like, he's 29 years old. And when he plays, he's a top 3 player in the sport. Like, Joe Burrow is a guy that has already been to the Super Bowl with a atrocious offensive line. And look, I don't have a whole lot of faith in Aaron Glenn. So if I could get a quarterback that I know is incredible, that can make Zach Taylor look good, then I would roll the dice. I would. Do I think this happens? No, but like, people go look at Joe Burrow's stats and come back to me. My God.
Yeah. And then look at the offensive lines he's had since 2020 to 2024. And even this year, like, the Bengals offensive line is not great. Joe Flacco is thriving in that offense because he throws a pass on Monday that gets to his receivers on Thursday. Like, the anticipation that man throws with is ridiculous. And a lot of this could be, Joe Burrow holding on to the ball too long as well. And that ends up getting himself sacked and injured. So, look, there's a lot that goes into it.
Got a good O-line here. You have Garrett Wilson.
This would be the best offensive line. Yeah, best offensive line in his career.
Maybe he loves Mason Taylor. LSU to LSU, baby.
Sure. Yeah. And then if you look at, you have Garrett Wilson, you now enter AD Mitchell into the fold. If you get Joe Burrow, you keep your second first-round pick and your second round pick. You still have 2 top 50 picks in this draft. What's stopping you from getting a third wide receiver to pair with Garrett and AD, and then you get an offensive lineman to help protect Joe Burrow? Like, we know what trading Quinnen and Sauce meant for the Jets. They are no longer looking at this as a defensive first mentality and a defensive first team. That is how a lot of modern NFL offenses do things nowadays. So it's telling that the Jets want to focus on offense, and who knows what's going to happen. Do we think it's going to be Joe? No. Honestly, I just hope it's not Kyler Murray. Any of the veterans.
Dak Prescott. I wouldn't trade a fortune for Dak Prescott.
I would trade a conditional 2027 third-round pick that could become a second-round pick to go get Spencer Rattler before I went and got Kyler Murray. That's just where I'm at. And I'm not saying I would do that for Spencer Rattler, but that's just my temperature on Kyler Murray. So,
look, it's a fascinating conversation because you have the ammunition if someone does ever shake free. I was in Houston when Deshaun Watson requested a trade, and this was before all the lawsuits came out, and he was coming off a year where, look at his 2020 season, he was considered a top 5 quarterback in the sport. He was 25, 26 years old. Burrow's a few years older, but we know how good he is. We know how bad that defense has been. Look, if he requested a trade, if you're the Jets, you make the call. He does have a no trade. So if he says he doesn't want to be a Jet, all right, what do you get? What can you do?
Of course.
But you're at least in the conversation here now. What do I think likely happens? I think the Jets use their first round pick this year and take a quarterback. But until then, whether it be Burrow, whether it be Lawrence, whether it be Kyler, and these are conversations you could have. The appeal of Kyler, Dylan, would be this. You wouldn't need to trade away like multiple ones. You probably wouldn't even need to trade away a one, given how he's played, his injury history, his contract. And then you could say, okay, we still could get our guy in 27 if it doesn't work out with Kyler. And we could use all our remaining assets of just stacking up the offense either to make it work with Kyler Murray or to get our guy in 2027. I don't even think you have to give up a first to get Kyler Murray at this point. So that to me is the appeal, because if you look at the free agent options, right, if they're going to, let's say, go with a bridge quarterback next year, like there's no one.
We have the bridge quarterback. That's the unfortunate thing. We have the bridge quarterback at $23 million a year, dead cap next year. We have the bridge quarterback come hell or high water. If they want to go the rookie route, it's Fields and the rookie.
You know who the best free agent quarterback is next year?
Hold on. Let me guess. Okay, we got to think of 1-year deals. Mac Jones is on a 2-year deal, so he's out. Oh, Daniel Jones. But he's going to get like 50-something million from Indianapolis. Why wouldn't they?
I wasn't even thinking of Daniel Jones because he's not going anywhere now.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, you want him back?
Yes.
Coming back to play for Aaron Glenn?
Shit, yeah, I would actually. Oh, could you imagine? No, but I mean, this conversation was never to say we have sources that Joe Burrow is going to be a New York Jet.
Oh, so it's the biggest NFL insider basically not ruling out Joe Burrow being pissed at the Bengals and requesting a trade.
He didn't poo-poo it. And when that
could have said at any point, listen, again, I want to play just the beginning of the clip here, and I'll pause it in real time. At any point, Schefter could have laughed. Schefter could have said, Greeny, you're nuts. Your Jet fan friends are crazy. He's stoic here, listening, being like, it's not the craziest thing in the world if Burrow actually wants out. Well, look at Schefter here.
Talked about how the Buffalo Bills have a superstar quarterback, Josh Allen. No one debates it. You talk about how the Patriots seem to have an emerging superstar quarterback in Drake May. Certainly seems like it's going that way. Yeah. And then you said the Jets, with their 5 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts, are going to get their next quarterback, and that's something the league has to worry about. I can tell you right now that if I showed you my phone, all of the Jets little group text chats that I'm on, and all my Jet fan friends, including Alan Hahn on the radio in New York, said to me the other day, the quarterback they want is Joe Burrow. That they think
See, everyone else on the panel is laughing. Schefter didn't emote. He's not thinking it's a joke.
Delusional Jet fans
Orlovsky. Look at Orlovsky versus
believe
Schefter. This
with
entire
all these
conversation.
Picks, they're going to pry Joe Burrow out of a situation in Cincinnati. And I keep telling them that is ludicrous. But I feel like I owe it to them to at least bring it up at the table.
To look for hope.
Well, here's what I would say to you right now.
He didn't say no. He's like, that's crazy. No way. Once again, that's all I'm trying to bring up here. Crazy things in the NFL happen. Sauce Gardner got traded 2 days ago. No one had that as a remote possibility. It wasn't even rumored. So I don't think Cincinnati will trade Burrow. And I don't know if Burrow would even request a trade, right? But hey, man, things happen. And at least with 5 first-round picks, you have a chance for any quarterback you want. And that includes moving up. Let's say the Titans get the number 1 pick, DT. All right, you want Fernando Mendoza, you want Ty Simpson, you think you got to get up to 1 to guarantee you get them? Well, guess what? You're not missing out on getting your quarterback if you believe in them. So they have a lot of options now. Whenever they do, they got to get it right because it won't matter if they don't get it right. This regime will not survive missing on a quarterback.
No, absolutely not. It's like, I don't know. If they want the rookie, they probably have to end with the number 1 overall pick because, like you just kind of laid out, if the Titans end with the number 1 overall pick and the Jets are picking 2 or 3, most likely the team picking 2 is going to need a quarterback as well. So then do the Titans ask for a king's ransom to come up to 1 to jump that team at 2? Or do they hold the carrot out in front of the Jets and say, hey, we have calls from other teams that are willing to give us a boatload of picks to come up from, 4 or farther? So like the Jets really are in a position where if I was ranking how I would find our quarterback today, I would say number 1 is a veteran. Number 2 is 2027 draft. And number 3 is the 2026 draft. There's just too much unknown about these guys. And so many of them can go back to school still and only make the 2027 class better that it actually scares me that the Jets would probably have to have the first overall pick to get their guy.
Or they just trade up.
Right. But then you're trading the Joe Burrow package for.
Well, I wouldn't trade 3 1s. I wouldn't trade up 3 1s.
They probably need 2 1s at least. They want
go from 3 to 1. No, this is not the type of draft class.
That's a lot of points, but it's a quarterback.
I get it, but still, I don't.
What's the point difference? What's the point difference? Let me look at the trade value chart because I know the first pick is worth 3,000.
Yeah, but remember when the Bears for Trubisky gave just like a second or a third to move up from like 3 to 2?
No, they gave up way more than that to go from 3 to 2.
There wasn't a first involved in it though.
No, there might not have been a first. That's probably true. That might not have been a first.
Remember, the Jets traded from 6 to 3, and they gave up 3 seconds to do it. There wasn't a first involved in that one either.
Right.
When they moved up for Darnold. I see your point, though. Ideally, you don't need the trade up, and ideally, they like more than 1 quarterback. So if they're at number 3, like they are right now, let's say Mendoza goes 1, Tennessee doesn't take a quarterback, Jets take either Simpson or Moore at 3.
Yeah. I mean, if that's their guy, then yeah. I mean, but if they're only set on 1 singular person at the top of the draft, it makes it a lot harder. But right now, the fact that there is no consensus, it is, it's helping the Jets. So the first pick is worth 3,000, and the third pick is worth 2,443. So we'll just round up and say 2,450. Easy math, 550 points. That is the value of. Not that much, actually. So that's actually really good. That does help the Jets. Maybe I was completely wrong on the value, but you're probably giving up one of your 2s to go up from 3 to 1. Oh, you're giving 3 overall and a second round pick, probably the Dallas second round pick, and then you're probably giving up like a 4 or a 5.
Yeah,
which isn't terrible.
No, it's if you hit on the quarterback, no one's going to remember.
Of course, nobody's going to care if we hit on the quarterback about Sauce and Quinnen either, right?
No,
that's what it all comes down to.
It puts Sauce and Quinnen in the Ring of Honor if the trade leads to the Jets getting their quarterback. Like, that's actually here for 10 years. Oh, man. I saw this comment earlier. Too funny to not bring up from LTO Magain. Joe Burrow would get more tail than Joe Namath did in New York.
I had people in the comments already calling him Broadway Joe Burrow and Joe Willie Burrow.
Maybe we need another Joe to finally get back to a Super Bowl.
Well, people are saying the Ty Simpson full circle will sorry, I'm putting somebody in timeout.
Bang Mateo?
No, I wouldn't do that to Bang. I actually respect Bang a little bit, even though we disagree. But yeah, I mean, some are saying Ty Simpson completes the circle, and Alabama quarterback drafted by the Jets takes them out of the playoff drought. So that is if you believe that Joe Namath is the reason for the curse. That is the only way. But a lot of people don't believe in that curse. Right? You're not a believer in that curse, right?
No, not at all.
No, me neither.
Not at all. Also, I just saw what you did, Dylan. Not only are we putting that guy in timeout, but there's no place for any of that. He is banned from the channel. Guy had a swastika in his profile.
Yeah. I thought that the text was egregious, but then the picture was
all of it
way more egregious. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I've seen
bad.
people put up comments before by accident and get kicked off YouTube. So we're not here for that. Come on.
Yeah,
let's be respectable. Come on.
Respectable guy should be locked up in prison. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let me talk about a giveaway today because it's a big one. I haven't mentioned it yet. We're 30 minutes in to the show here. Joe Burrow, he was picked first overall. And so was this guy, a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. That's right, Vinny T jersey up for grabs. No one's gifted a membership. If you gift 10, how about this? We'll give you +5 on it. So if you gift 10, you'll get 15 entries. So make sure you gift for your chance to win a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. We'll do some super chats, and certainly I want to talk more about the trades and the state of the Jets, talk about what we can expect to see on Sunday and going forward. Certainly want to talk about AD Mitchell with you, Dylan, because I know you're a fan of his game. Let's start with this one from Bang. Burrow has no trade clause. Why would he come here? It's kind of what we were saying earlier, right? If he wants to be in New York, if he wants to play with Garrett Wilson, if he wants a good offensive line, it's not a terrible spot for him. Like they obviously need pieces on defense, but it's an offensive league, and you have the ingredients for him to be plug and play and play well here. A lot of factors. Do I think he'd want to be a Jet? I have no idea, but the Jets are a team that could make it happen for him. And what if Cincinnati's like, okay, we're not trading you unless we got a legit return for you, and the Jets are the only team that could come close to giving us what we think you're worth, that 3 first-round pick plus package.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, myself included, actually discount when they say, well, why would you want to come to the Jets if you have another offer? We hear it with our current players and some of the players that even just left in Quinnen and Sauce. Sauce even said it himself, like right when he signed the deal. I will become the Jets' biggest hater if I leave because I want to be part of turning it around. Like that is such and that's an ego-driven thing, right? With a lot of players. And I'm not saying it's a negative ego thing, but why wouldn't you want to be part of something where it's like, yeah, if we actually did turn this around and you believe in your talents, maybe Joe Burrow believes in his talent as a quarterback and says, yeah, I can turn around New York, go send me to New York. I can make it work. Like that is such a discounted part of the New York side of it. When your team is that bad for that long, like how do the people in Detroit feel right now, right? They turned that around and now all of a sudden they're such a respectable franchise and teams are looking how to model their rebuilds after them. Like that is such a good feeling for the players who came there when they were shit and they were like, yeah, we want to turn this thing around. So I think that's a discounted part of it all.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Robin says, why would Burrow go from one bleep show to another if he has a choice? Schefter is content creating, I think, but I would welcome it. I think we all should be open to it. I mean, it's Joe Burrow, people. I get it. He has an injury history, but you know what? Like when he plays, my God, the guy last year, he threw 43 touchdowns, led the NFL, and had almost 5,000 yards passing. Like,
should have won MVP, but they went 7-10 and missed the playoffs. If that team was,
they went 9-8.
Oh, they went 9-8. Excuse me. Yeah. But if they made it to the playoffs, even if they were a first round exit, I actually think Joe Burrow's chances of being MVP were so much higher. Like he outplayed Josh Allen for much.
He had
of
the
that
best
season.
year last year.
100%.
Their defense is just so goddamn terrible. And we know it firsthand.
We know this firsthand. Yeah.
Bang, you had nothing to the chat. No one cares. Chew, that is a well spent $2. The big fella says G5 loves the new wide receiver room. Love to see it. We will talk about that coming up, big fella. Ralphie in the raffle for 2. Crazy idea. Tanner McKee for a second and use the ones for skill players in 2026. I don't know enough about Tanner McKee to say it's crazy to do this. I just would prefer to draft someone in the first round and not bank on Tanner McKee being our long-term answer. I get it. The Eagles apparently like him. They haven't traded him. They've kept him. I don't know. I'm not sold on Tanner McKee. Are you doing?
A 2? Ralphie, come on, man. Come on, man. A 2? A top 50 pick for Tanner McKee, who was at one point a 6th-round pick of the Eagles 3 years ago? Come on. The idea.
What would you trade for him then?
The Allen Lazard deal? No, I don't know. Maybe like a 5th-round pick. A 5th-round pick. Because then they at least feel like they got a better return on their investment. I don't believe in Tanner McKee. Honestly, if I was going to trade for any of these young quarterbacks who's sitting behind somebody, I would probably go trade for Will Howard. That because he was my guy in the draft. McKee was not.
The Steelers are going to give you him.
No, absolutely not. And we're not making any deals with Pittsburgh at this point. And he broke his hand, so that's a bigger issue too.
King and Dreams says, I don't need any raffle. I'm just showing love. King and Dreams, baby. Appreciate you checking out the show. Bo C, he gifted 10 memberships. Dylan, that means we're going to give him a little +5. He is in the Asmaniac raffle for 15. What a country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Bo C in for 10. Let me remind people our top prize in the weekly raffle is a signed Darrell Revis football and a signed Joe Klecko helmet with the Hall of Fame signature attached. Bo, thanks for your support. As always, we got you down in the raffle. End of the show today, for those of you tuning in late, signed Vinny Testaverde jersey up for grabs. David in the house here. He says, for what it's worth, the Bengals have a history of trading an overall former number 1 QB. During the 2011 season, they traded Carson Palmer to the then Raiders. I mean, as good as Palmer was at times, Joe Burrow is in a different stratosphere. So
Hawk even brought it up in that conversation, sitting at the panel there. He was saying how he played there with Carson Palmer, and they traded him as a former number 1 overall pick, and that became the catalyst for the rebuild turnaround that brought the Bengals to some of their better days. So yeah, I could totally see it. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but again, we're not talking like it's definitive.
All I'm saying is there's going to be quarterback movement this offseason, and some of you want to wait till 2027 to get your quarterback, which I think is nuts. To me, there's 2 options. Take a quarterback in the top 3 where the Jets are picking, or do something crazy like a Joe Burrow. I don't want to trade a war chest for Dak Prescott. I think he's good, not great. Kyler, the only appeal is that it wouldn't be a war chest, and you could still get your guy in 27 if it doesn't work out. You make the move, though, for Dak, you're committed to him. You make the move for Lawrence, you're committed to him. I think he's overrated. Burrow's really the only one I'd be willing to trade like the 3 first-round picks to make happen.
Yeah, we can't do the third try or third bite of the apple at the 2021 quarterback class, right? Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. We can't do that. And also, and I brought this up with Kev, Buffalo Jet fan. I was like, why would Dallas give us Dak? Our first-round pick is dependent on them sucking. They would never give us Dak for any amount. What are we supposed to just return that pick to them? Like, I'm confused. Like, I don't know.
I would.
Right, but does it actually work that way?
If it's just 1 first-round pick, like
it would have to be 2027. It would have to be 2027.
Yeah,
but I don't
even know if I want Dak. I honestly might just roll the dice and just draft our own guy.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback, and we're gonna do the argument of he would be the best Jets quarterback in NFL history. Like we did with Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr and all those guys. Like, because the history of the Jets is shit at quarterback. That's why. Like, literally, we could go get Derek Carr to retirement, and he'd probably be the best quarterback the Jets have had in their franchise history. But yeah, I would be out on Dak. I'd be out on Kyler. I'd be out on Trevor. CJ Stroud. That's the only other one that I can think of. And it's like, I don't know if it's like soured too far in Houston where they're going to move on from him. But I believed in his talent coming out of the draft. And I think that, what's his name? Slowick and whoever they got at OC now. Is it Nick Caley? I think from LA, whoever that guy is, they're not doing right by their offense.
Yeah. I texted someone that would have a feel for the CJ Stroud conversation. Once they watched Davis Mills play, I think people realized, we're gonna keep CJ Stroud. All right, we're not moving on from that.
That's 100% fair. Yeah, and like most of these guys, like if it's a CJ Stroud, you'd have to give them a pick that gives them a chance to find their quarterback of the future. So that's also the part of it too. Like you're not giving up 32. Like hypothetically, Indy holding the 32nd pick right now. Like you're not giving that pick to a team for a quarterback because then they're out of the race to get their own quarterback in return.
You ready for an entire offseason of different quarterback discussions like the one we already have had for the first 30 plus minutes of the show?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want more quarterback discussion on my channel with Dom C, our favorite draft analyst / Jets draft guy, we talked for about 40 minutes earlier this week. That's up on Believe in Jets, and it's up on my YouTube channel. So Dylan Tereman, go check it out with Dom C. And it was a lot of fun. We talked about his rough top 5.
What a shameless plug by you. Well done. You're getting better at this. Nice job.
I'm becoming an official podcaster. Nick Shine complimented my headphones the other day. I upgraded from the AirPods that always seem to crap out on me mid-show. So we're here, Jake. We're learning.
Oh, it's great to see. It really is. Jay Quest writes in, we will get Burrow when he's 39. Incorrect. We will get Jordan Love when he's 39. That's how this goes. 2030. We get Burrow this offseason, and he's our quarterback until the 2038 season, and then we acquire Jordan Love.
Yeah, why not? I'm here for it. Somehow we got to find the bridge to Jordan Love.
That's the Jets' plan. Find the bridge to Love. JJ, that could be like a double entendre too. JJ in the raffle for 2 says, no matter who the quarterback ends up being, Burrow or a top pick, he must come to New York and perform. If we ever have hopes of competing in the AFC East with Allen and May for years to come, we can't Zach Wilson the pick. For those of you saying you don't want Burrow, this plays into my thought process why I'd heavily consider it. We're dealing with Josh Allen. Drake May looks like he's going to be really good for a while now. And as long as Vrabel's there, they're always going to be competitive because he's a really good coach. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, we could hit on our quarterback, or we could draft another bust, or we could have another Sam Darnold situation where he's not good enough to overcome his environment. Burrow can overcome anything. He's Joe Burrow. He's proven it. So, like, that's the argument of just, yes, it would be a lot. Yes, he's been injury prone. But when he plays, he's unbelievable. Lamar Jackson was injury prone too. Had 2 straight years where he finished the year on injured reserve. Guess what? Last couple of years, he's been healthy, and the Ravens have been one of the best teams in the league, and he's won an MVP again. So, look, it's football, man. Guys get hurt. There's a risk involved in all this, but that's the conversation. You have 5 ones, so at least have the conversation if Burrow asked out or Cincinnati wanted to reset. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat like way earlier was like galaxy braining while we were doing the Schefter video, and they said the Jets fire Tanner, the Jets hire Zach Taylor as OC, and then they trade for Burrow. So like, again, we just have no idea what's going to happen, but there's ways to do it, and I feel like looking up against Josh Allen and Drake May across the way in your division is very scary, and I don't want to have an instant 4 losses on the win-loss game, right? When we play that every August. I don't want that just because they have Josh Allen and Drake May, right? We need to at least be able to go compete with those guys.
Hit the like button. Bino says Mike Brown would rather eat glass than pay dead cap bonus money and pay multiple first-round picks. Mike Brown not being the Knicks coach, but I
was so confused. I thought this was a Knicks super chat, and I was about to just zone out, and then I was like, multiple first-round picks and dead cap money. That sounds like NFL talk. Yeah, there's multiple Browns in the Bengals front office. I don't even think they're all related. Some are, some aren't. But yeah,
Browns known for being cheap, though.
Yes, wasn't this the Mike Brown that we almost got, or who was the Bengals guy that we interviewed for GM?
No,
Trey Brown.
Yeah, Trey Brown was what was he like? He's the assistant GM there.
He is the senior personnel executive in Cincinnati. They interviewed him the same day they interviewed Chris Spielman and Ryan Grigson. Oh, boy.
What's Lance Newmark up to, by the way? What did he think of Darren Muji's trade deadline?
He's the assistant GM still in Washington.
Do you think Newmark would have extracted 2 firsts, AD Mitchell, a second, and a first for Sauce and Quinnen?
No. Lance probably would have showed his hand, in like September when Quinnen came to him the first time asking out. Asking to leave, or back in like, what was that, March or April when they let go of Rodgers? Yeah, I don't know. Newmark to me, he would have missed the mark. We'll say that.
I'm a Muji guy now. Muji.
Can't you see?
Taylor says, crazy to be optimistic about AD Mitchell. Great segue, because I was about to talk about AD Mitchell. Garrett Wilson was raving about him today when he spoke with reporters. DT, bring us back to your scouting report on AD Mitchell when you were breaking down his tape for all the draft content you were producing. I liked him a lot at Texas. Second-round pick. He really has not had a big opportunity to play the quarterback situation till this year. So his rookie year with Richardson was an abomination. So your thoughts on what he could do? He's going to get a real chance, I'd imagine, with the Jets.
It's pretty drastic what his numbers look like when you had Joe Flacco in the fold in Indianapolis versus Anthony Richardson. That being said, both quarterbacks missed him quite a bit, not excusing, his shortcomings, and we'll get to those in a second. But I think he's an elite separator, and I don't want to, loosely use that term elite. I actually think he's an elite separator. He is very good. And I'm not just talking about the charts and analytic nerd metrics that I like to use on Twitter, but I think he is very shifty. He is a very good complement to Garrett Wilson in terms of his size and the way he wins downfield, especially. A lot of mental problems. And I'm not saying, just like mental health, but like mental in terms of focus on catches, looking at the defenders about to hit him before he's trying to catch the ball and he drops the ball. Obviously, he had the game this year that cost the Colts one of their 2 losses where he was trying to showboat and Malachi Corley did at the goal line. So there are things in his game that don't make me necessarily optimistic about him overall long term. But if he proves that he can be the better side of him, right, the guy that came out of Georgia and Texas, the guy that was the 52nd overall pick of the Colts, yeah, sometimes finding a new environment will pull that back out of you. And I think he has that dog in him, right, where he knows. And there was that quote circulating today. He's like, I'm a football player. He's like, I knew in school wasn't my thing. I wasn't going to get a real job. Football's got to be my path. So sometimes getting knocked down a peg and going to a new organization, especially when you go from the 7-2 Colts to the 1-7 Jets, it changes you a little bit. But we fast forward
Reggie Wayne, real quick, Dylan. Reggie Wayne's their wide receivers coach in Indy.
He had a lot of good things.
They asked him about AD Mitchell today, and he's like, "Yeah, one day you're 7-1, and the next day you wake up you're 1-7." I'm like, "Damn,
shit. That is a tough reality, unfortunately." But I'm actually a very big fan of AD Mitchell. What I think he can bring to this team. Now, in terms of where I had him ranked, and I'm trying to find it as I'm talking, it's hard to find all my rankings from past years, but I think I had him as a high second-round pick. So I really liked the optics of what he could bring. Now, at the end of the day, does that mean he's going to be good for the Jets? No. But with all the things schematically that I think he can bring to the Jets, and you're also opening up Garrett Wilson a lot, like this is not a Alan Lazard empty jersey, right? To quote Joe Caporoso, this isn't an empty jersey opposite Garrett Wilson anymore. This is somebody who is going to garner attention from a corner and or a safety. So I think there's a lot to like about the AD Mitchell one, and of the players that they've brought in, whether it's AD, yeah, this one. I
mean, one of his best plays is him cooking sauce.
This one hurts for the guys like myself who absolutely love Sauce. I remember this play. This was not a good play for Sauce, but I think this is of the guys that they brought in at the trade deadline. He is the one that I'm most encouraged about, and rightfully so, right? He plays on offense. He's a good complement to Garrett. I still think he's got a ton of upside. He just has to put it all together mentally. And I don't know if this coaching staff is the best one for a player like that. I still have a lot of issues with Sean Jefferson, I'll say. I think there's a lot of details missing in the wide receiver room. So hopefully he brings it, and he's a total package for the Jets. But you cannot deny, like you're seeing here, the athleticism and the upside. He just has to pull it together.
I like the idea of getting failed top picks as throw-ins in these deals, because why not? Right? Like if the Texans, or the Eagles want to give you former second-round pick of the Texans, John Mechie, great. If the Colts are willing to give you AD Mitchell, great. He was a second-round pick a year ago. Like I like the idea of adding talent to a room that desperately needs it, and it's not costing you anything if it doesn't work out. So I'm all about it. I think these have been smart additions by the Jets. I think Muji has done a good job with this. Just hopefully someone can emerge, because you'll feel a lot better going into the offseason knowing you have Garrett, Mason Taylor as your top pass catchers, and then maybe you have a couple guys in the wide receiver room that are rosterable, that are playable. You're still probably going to need to use the draft to get a number 2 wide receiver. We all understand that. But if you could just go into the offseason feeling a little better about some of the younger talent you have at premium positions, which wide receiver has certainly become a premium position in today's NFL, then I think that's a good sign for this team going forward, regardless who the quarterback is next year.
Yeah, if he is your wide receiver 3 entering, May next year, so post free agency, post draft, right? You have Garrett, you have a rookie, either a first or second rounder, and you could even go a third rounder. And then you have AD, and then you have guys like Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith, John Mechie fighting for that wide receiver 4 and 5 spot. You feel a lot better about your depth, even if you have a rookie quarterback, right? So to your point, I would not stop swinging at wide receiver, and I think that's why they have 4 top 50 picks, and I wouldn't be surprised if, ultimately, even if they traded up and only spent 2 of those top 50 picks, it's probably going to be a quarterback and a wide receiver if I had to guess. And I hate saying that the Jets are predictable come draft time, but the Jets are always so predictable come draft time. And it feels like quarterback and wide receiver is one of the only ways to go.
They're going quarterback. It's just a matter of, are they going quarterback with their own first or their second first? And I bring that up because the Giants did that with Dart. Remember, they traded back into the first round because Abdul Carter was just too good of a player for them to pass up. If they knew Dart was going to look the way he's looked so far, they wouldn't have jinxed it or chanced it for another team to have taken him. They would have just taken him at 3. That's how it works. So,
yes.
I personally, though, Dylan, would be shocked if they're not taking a quarterback with their own first round pick.
Yeah, no, I think
I don't believe in this 2027 waiting around stuff.
Well, like I said earlier, I think it's veteran 27 and then 26 for me in terms of how I would prefer to find my quarterback. Now, if you're asking me what the percent probability is that
you prefer the veteran route.
Yeah, 100%. This team is always built for a veteran, in my opinion. It's not a place where rookies thrive. Not even Sanchez. Like, he did well, but he didn't thrive.
Well, Pennington thrived though.
That's what I said. Pennington is the only example I can fall back to where it's like, great, cool. But what did we have
Sanchez
right before
never
that?
thrived anywhere else. Like, I think Sanchez was just limited at the end of the day. Like, he was an okay quarterback, good at his best. Sure. Like, once the roster wasn't good enough around him, he wasn't elevating guys. I think a guy could thrive here, right? I think if they helped Sam Darnold succeed, he would have been good. Like, I would take a quarterback this year, and I'd have that ahead of veteran. Unless you're telling me it's Burrow, which I still think is a long shot. I think I would just roll the dice on Simpson or Moore or Mendoza, whoever.
Right. That's my personal ranking of how I would like to see them do it. Now, the probability of where I think they will fall and find their quarterback, it's like 65% 2026 draft.
Do you like any of these quarterbacks coming out there?
I like a lot of them, but there's so much uncertainty, right? Mendoza, I don't think has eligibility, but I think he actually might. Like, that's the hardest part of all this. Is I don't know fully all the quarterbacks' eligibility. I know Dante Moore has eligibility. Darian Mensah from Duke has eligibility. Garrett Nussmeier, I believe, does not have eligibility. Drew Aller, I believe, does not have eligibility.
I don't want him.
Exactly, right? Ty Simpson has eligibility. Who are some of the other top guys that Dom and I talked about? Lenore Sellers, he's fallen off, but he has eligibility. He's probably going to transfer. He's not going to be in Columbia. Why do I keep saying Columbus? Columbia next year. I think he's going to transfer out. Cade Klubnik has to come out. So, like, Nussmeier, Aller, Klubnik. Those are the guaranteed 3 that have no eligibility left. Do you want any of those 3, Jake?
I want
Klubnik, Nussmeier, or Aller.
Nope. I only want Simpson, Mendoza, or Moore.
Right. And 2 of those 3 can just say, hey, I want to go back to school. Not because
they're going to be top 5 picks, they wouldn't. I think
right. That's what it comes down
to.
That's what it comes down to is what does the end of season people, I don't know if it's like a committee or their agents or whoever it is, whenever they get that grade back of like, yeah, you'd probably be a late 1, which means you're probably a mid 1 because of desperation. Yeah. If 3 of those guys are like, hey, you're probably a top 10 to 12, 15 pick at worst. Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to come out. So I like Mendoza. I like Dante Moore. I still like Sellers, and that's a little homerish because I live here in South Carolina. I like his athleticism, maybe not for the Jets. But if any of those guys go back, though, and it's just Mendoza and the 3 guys with no eligibility, that makes the 27 class so much stronger to me. So that's why I default to saying 2027 has more talent, because I'm theoretically putting Dante Moore in both draft classes right now because we just don't know.
Yeah. I personally think these guys will come out because the longer they wait next year, all of a sudden they get pushed down because of how talented the class is. So if you think you could be a top 15 pick this year, which sounds
because
like
you have to factor in Arch Manning next year, Arch Manning, and probably my favorite quarterback, maybe not the best quarterback in the class, Julian Sayin from Ohio State. I think he's a great quarterback too. That's eligible as starting.
Just think about what we said a year ago. Like
no, of course. And I'm not doing the whole next year's always better than this year. I'm saying with the
every year we
uncertainty.
say it. Like all I heard
at
this time last year was next year is going to be so much better.
And now the analysts are saying it. The analysts are even like Jeremiah was even saying it the other day. Like, and I love DJ's
and
analysis.
they all said it last year too. And
yes.
I'm tired of it.
Of course. So yes, if the Jets love any of the guys who declare 100%, I'll be on board because I hated Zach Wilson. I'll be honest. And I tried to, give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm the startup. We're taking the quarterback.
Yes. If I had to bet today, I would say it's at least 65% chance that they take their quarterback this year with their first round pick.
From your lips to God's ears. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to your calls, can we shout out one of the all-time greats? Hold on. StreamYard's acting up. One of the all-time greats, Mimosa.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Mimosa's in our raffle for a Vinny T jersey for 10. My Siri on my laptop, Dylan, is going off. I have no idea how to stop it here, so it keeps cutting out my audio. So I don't know what's happening. But anyway, love to you and Dylan. Looking forward to 2027 JETS Jets.
Jeez.
I want that Vinny jersey. I am not getting through a full 2 years of mock draft season, because if we wait till 2027, next year means absolutely nothing. They're not winning anything.
No. And 3 or 4 weeks ago, BJ.
And we're not making the playoffs till 2028 at the earliest.
Dude,
rookie in 2027. He's going to go through growing pains. We're not making the playoffs till 2028 at the earliest if we wait until 2027.
Buffalo and I floated out 4 weeks ago. It's probably after the Miami game or something like that. We were like, are we a year away from being a year away still? And then obviously they trade away Sauce and Quinnen, and now you have to think of those things. But no, honestly, and I said it the day that the regime was hired, before the regime was hired, I said 2026 has to be the year that there is, maybe Woody doesn't come out and say it because he never likes to come out and say it, but there needs to be a playoff mandate on whoever the coach is in 2026, because I'm not doing a 4, 5, 6 year rebuild, and that still nets us 0 playoff appearances anyway.
Comments.
I got to turn my light on too.
Sorry, Dylan, if you're talking, I can't even hear you right now. My Siri is going off. All right, let me see if I can figure this out. In the meantime, we're going to open up the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. Appreciate all of you who are tuned in here on the show. We got some super chats I also want to hit, so we're going to do both at the same time. This one is from, we are caught up on super chats. Excellent. All right, let's get to some of your calls then, because we got a lot there to break down. And let's start it off with the Chuck Wagon. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, guys. Hey, Dylan. Just letting you guys know, in 2017, the Bears gave the 49ers 2 3s and a 4 just to move up one spot. Not even an additional first rounder. So worst case scenario, if the Jets are the 3rd pick and they have to move up to 2, assuming the Titans are 1, it's not going to be much. So that's actually a nice little thing to hang your hat on. With Schefter saying about, being able to get Burrow and this and that, I think that's just content creating on his end. He's got to do what he's got to do. The trade deadline's over, so he won't be as busy until either the end of the season and the draft. So he's got to make himself, he has to put his name out there so people can talk about him and all that. That's all it is. Would it be nice to have Joe Burrow? Sure, but also we have to realize we don't want to give up, 4 or 5 first rounders for that to happen. So I don't think if the Jets have to move up, I don't think it's going to be as expensive as some people may think.
I don't think so either, Chuck. But obviously, a lot of this, you know what it depends on? It depends on how the rest of the league views these quarterbacks. Because that's usually the biggest thing. Like if it's an arms race and teams love some of these guys coming out, then that changes things. But we're so early in this because guys get hyped up when we get to the offseason and NFL coaches start actually evaluating the tape. You get the combine, the pro days, Dylan's favorite event ever, the Senior Bowl. So we got plenty of time.
Yeah, and for twofold reasons, I am wearing my Senior Bowl shirt today. I chose 2024's class. Every year I go, and I'm making it a sad moment. They put the players' names on the back every year, and third name down on the last column is Marshawn Nealon. So really sad day. It's never good when you get those news bits in the morning. So really unfortunate.
Big fella writes in, looks like Nwanu's going to be back Sunday, and then he'll get hurt again, as he always does. So great.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back for a couple kickoffs and then get hurt again. Here's your injury report, by the way, for those of you who are still super excited about Jets Browns. By the way, if anyone has extra tickets, I had a bunch of listeners after my first show with Beningo today reach out wanting to go. So there's interest. So if any season ticket holder or someone with tickets doesn't want to use them, I will donate them to listeners who can so we can get some diehard Jet fans in the building. Someone is taking their daughter to their first ever game. So that's exciting. Here's your injury report, though. Garrett Wilson was limited, but he said today he's playing, and that's all I really care about. So, Dylan, your thoughts?
I'm glad we're healthy. Garrett really is the only name I care about on this list, but the other name that I do somewhat care about, obviously, Mason Taylor, but he was full all week, so I think his quad has just been hampering him, and he's just been, I don't know, like for formality reasons has to be put on there because he's getting treatment on his quad, even though he's full participation. The other guy I'm looking at on this list is Kiko Malinois, who is limited 2 days coming out of the concussion protocol. We really need Kiko right now, which sounds so scary. But with Quincy benched, I mean, are you going to put out Michael Walker next to Jamie and Sherwood? And what happens if Jamie and Sherwood needs to get benched for a second time this year? So the linebacker room scares me right now. So I'm glad Kiko's coming back. But yeah, Garrett's the only one on this list. And is it even confirmed that he's playing?
Garrett, he said he's playing.
He said he's playing. Cool. Then I'll take him at his word. I can't take AG at his word anymore at the podium. So yeah, Garrett is the only one we care.
What do you mean? Aaron Glenn would never say that he said something that he didn't say.
What do you say to the fans who were, frustrated by a 1-7 record? They just saw their ticket prices go up, and they just saw 2 of their favorite players get traded away. What do you say?
Nothing different than I've been saying. Listen, I want this to be a team that the fans are proud of. But again, I never said that we're going to be proud of them right now. At some point, I want this to be a team that that the fans are proud of, and I still stick with that. And I will still say that this is a team that the fans will be proud of. And I'm not going to get into the patience and all that type of crap that you always hear. But I will tell you this: our guys are working. We're going to continue to work. And again, I'm going to stand by that statement. I want this to be a team that the fans are proud of. So don't let go of the rope. You've heard me say that before. And just continue to watch us work.
I think there's some Jet fans that are choking themselves with that rope right now. God.
You know what they say, Jake? Cornerbacks never forget how to backpedal. And I saw a tweet from Connor Hughes saying something about a team you can be proud of at the end of the season. I don't know if that was a quote from when AG first said it, and I know you've pulled the clip of when AG first said it. He never said at the end of the season. He just said
I want to be a team to where the fans will look up and say, we're proud of that team. And if they say that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy because within that, I know that wins will come.
Those hamstrings got to be hurting. It's the most Aaron Glenn's had to backpedal since he was intercepting passes as a Jet.
Haters will say it was AI, but it's not what he originally said. And if you wanted to say in your first quote, the video you just played, I want this to be a team the fans can be proud of by the time we get to the end of this season, because he understood there is a lot of, work in progress still to be had on this roster. Sure, we could have bought in a little bit more instead of we're going to win now, we're going to go do all the things. It's just coaching. Like I've used the term peacocking before. Like that's a lot of what they did. So like now it sucks that you have to backpedal and retract all your earlier statements, but that's unfortunately where we are. Like that this team isn't going to win much. Like maybe one game down the stretch, like maybe.
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
I'm still waiting.
I would say I'm looking forward to it too, AG. But like, let's not forget too, man. The Lions went 3-13-1, and then they started that next year 0-6.
I think they were 1-6. I think they were 1-6.
And then the owner came out and was like, "We're gonna stand by these guys," and da 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 da. Like, I don't want to see half of next year wasted on still trying to figure this shit out. So like the offseason this year, and I think somebody asked us last week. This is gearing up to be the most important Jets offseason in franchise history.
Oh, baby. We haven't heard that one before.
Only 6 times in the last 4 years.
All right, we got a lot of people on hold, so we're going to rapid fire through a bunch of calls here. We're an hour in. We got a Vinny Testaverde jersey on the line today. We started off by talking about Schefter's comments about Joe Burrow's future and the Jets being involved there. And in honor of that, I said, okay, let's have a giveaway around the number 1 pick. That's Vinny T. He was a veteran the Jets acquired, and guess what? That worked out, so maybe it can work.
Yes.
It just, Joe Burrow wasn't a Packers quarterback, so that's a good sign. Matt L. is in the Asmaniac raffle. He just gifted 10. Hit it, Matt. All right, let's get to some calls here, shall we? But first, real quick, super chat from Taylor who says, give me Mendoza and Surratt if coming out. Yes and yes. All right, first call today. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to a Joe Burrow sycophant. It's PBM.
Purple belt Mike, he loves the dark knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
I don't give a damn if we got to give up 10 first-round picks. If we can get Joe Burrow, we fucking get Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow can play in the cold. He could play under the lights. He could beat Josh Allen. God damn it. Let's go.
He's got the jersey already.
Burrow,
what?
Baby. I want Burrow. I want Burrow. I want Burrow. I want Joey B, baby. Joey B's going to get more tail than everyone in New York combined, baby. I love Joe Burrow. I need him. I draft him in fantasy every single year, baby. I love Joe Burrow. He's not doing good for me right now. That's because he's not a New York Jet. We need Joe Burrow. The Jets need Joe freaking Burrow, baby. I don't care what it costs. It can cost my leg. I'll take it. I'll cut it off. I'll do whatever it takes. We need him. We need him. He could save. He could save everything. I want Joe Burrow.
PBM, how long have you had that jersey?
By any means necessary. So last year, my wife's uncle, so my uncle, his daughter was Joe Burrow for Halloween, got like a giant jersey. And he's like, who's going to wear this after Halloween? Who likes Joe Burrow? And he gave it to me. And I never wore it until now. This is the first time I ever put it on. But I love Joe Burrow.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
I think PBM might want the Jets to try and acquire Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Jets.
I love Mike, man.
Oh,
he's the best.
Mike, I think your shirts are coming in the mail soon. Hopefully, I mailed them out Tuesday, so hopefully they get to you in PBW before the Jets' next win.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls. So I would say Mike brought a lot of energy. Do you think there's anyone I could bring on, Dylan, that could match that level of passion and enthusiasm for the Jets?
I'm going to guess we went from somebody wearing an orange jersey to somebody who has an orange wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
Nope.
So, Dylan, let's talk about the moves. So, the Sauce Gardner deal was a horrible move. I thought it was the worst move I've ever seen. Like, I thought it was, at first I thought it was fake, Why would you trade Sauce Gardner, It was a horror move because, this just shows Aaron Glenn is clueless. You don't trade Sauce Gardner, whatever price, even the Colts gave you 2 first-round picks, you don't trade Sauce Gardner. You paid him a $120 million extension in the offseason. So the thing is, I understand first-round picks, but the thing about the first-round picks is, it's really 50-50 on see if it's the right pick. And, do you really trust Aaron Glenn coaching these picks? I really don't. Aaron Glenn, he's very good at flip-flopping, As you see, Jake, he's like, oh, we're here to win now. And in the offseason, no, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. Like talking about, with the bull rush with Will McDonald. Oh, it's coaching, man. And then he's like, oh, we're a team. They're gonna make a team that the fans can be proud of. Like, honestly, Jake, we're not proud of this. It's embarrassing. We only have one win. Aaron Glenn's like, oh, we're to win now. Aaron, when is the wins gonna start? 2027, 2028? When we get the first round picks? This is kind of like year 0 for the evaluation, Jake. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I have to disagree about your Sauce take. I think trading Sauce was probably the best move for the team right now in terms of they're not going to care about defense as much as they care about offense. And everything right now is dependent on finding your quarterback. So did I love trading Sauce Gardner? No. And like you said, I thought it was fake too. But then the Quinnen trade comes down and it actually kind of softens the blow of the Sauce trade because now you have 5.
I didn't think the Quinnen deal was that bad because, he was like, Aaron Glenn is the best at flip-flopping, he was like, Quinnen Williams asked for a trade 3 times, he was like, oh, after we cut Rodgers, like, oh, it's another rebuild. And Glenn's like, oh, he lied to him saying, oh, we're here to win now. And then in the season, we started 1-7, he's like, oh, sinking ships need time to build, we're not the same old Jets. So I think it was a good move.
Is that what he sounds like? You think Aaron Glenn sounds like that, Mad Max?
Yeah, Aaron Glenn's just clueless, honestly. Aaron Glenn's clueless.
I would disagree. So I think Aaron Glenn has a plan, right? Doesn't necessarily going to be a great plan. We don't know, right? We have to kind of just have a little bit of blind faith in Aaron Glenn. I don't want to say he's clueless, though. Like, he also brought in Darren Muji, who is the facilitator of all these trades. And I get it. AG probably signs off at the end of the day, but there's probably a world that we live in, where AG is somewhere between clueless, and a genius. So that's kind of where I'm living with AG. I want to see what he does with these picks. If he hits out on the quarterback, I don't care about Sauce Gardner. I don't care about Quinnen Williams. You know what I mean? They didn't trade Garrett Wilson. They didn't trade Breece Hall. What does that tell you? They care about their offense. They're going to put resources, into the offense and make sure that whoever the quarterback is not only the right person, but they aren't going to give them any opportunities to say, well, we didn't have good wide receivers. We didn't have a good offensive line. We didn't have a good play caller. They're trying to establish all those things while getting the quarterback. So, I don't know. I don't think AG is clueless, but I also don't think he deserves, all this crazy credit. He had one really good game from a coaching perspective against Cincinnati, and he's had 2 really bad stinkers in London and Carolina. Everything else has kind of been middling from a coaching perspective. So I'm not in on Glenn. I'm not out on Glenn, but these picks are going to be telling. And if they get the wrong quarterback, then everything sucks, All
right, we've done enough football talk, Mad Max. It's time to rip your ass a new one. Stop being late to class. I heard you're always 15 minutes late to class.
That's not true, Jake.
No, your classmate said as much.
I'm never late. Like, come on, Jake. Like, come on. And let's talk about the
Let me talk, Mad Max. Shut up. Stop being late to class, all right? You have a responsibility to your parents who are spending a fortune to put your ass through college to be on time and be ready to learn.
And instead, you're leaning up against the wall, breaking your neck, and you're late to class? Come on, bro. Go to class.
I'm not sure, Jake.
You know why, Jake?
Classmate called in and said you're late 15 minutes to every class.
Which classmate? Which classmate? Honestly, Jake, which classmate?
We're not snitching over here. We just
Come on, we're not snitching.
You know what this is, Jake? This is classic sophomore in college syndrome, right? He made it through his freshman year. He was on his P's and Q's. He didn't get many ladies, but now this year all he's focused on is the ladies, and
That's not true.
Class
Come on, man.
Stop being
I'll
late
be
to
on
class,
time,
Mad
Jake. I'll
Max.
be on time, Jake.
You
Let's
have
be
no
real.
excuse. None.
What class are you late to? Like what do you? What's 15 minutes worth of what class that you could?
I'm never late. Like I'm never late. I'm never late. Like come on. Like Jake, I'm never late to class. Like come on.
We can see your line.
Stop saying you're never late to class when you are late to class. We have it on the record from someone that is in class with you that says you're never on time.
That's still not true, Jake. Honestly, no, still not true.
What class is this, Mad Max? Why can't you be there?
Oh man, I'm always on time, Jake. Come on, I'm always on time.
You're not answering my questions.
What class am I late to?
Yes. What class are you late to?
I mean, I'm late to one class in Victoria, but that's because it's like a 20-minute walk from that, and then and that's like a 2 o'clock class. I'm like 20. That's like a 20-minute walk.
You're late to a 2 p.m. class.
I'm never late. I mean, everyone's late to that class, bro. That's like because from my apartment, it's like a 15-minute walk. You know what I mean? And then
at 2 p.m. Max,
not
what
true.
are you doing all morning?
I mean, I'm not. I have a 9:30 class. I'm just like. I'm usually there on time, Jake.
Chase Donovan said you're always late to class. Explain that.
We called him out.
Oh man.
I didn't want to name any names, but your classmate Chase Donovan tipped me off that you're always late to class.
Oh man, because it's now the sports communication. That's like a 9:30 a.m. class, but I'll be on time to that one.
Wait a second. You just said you're never late, but now you're like, oh, it's a 9:30 a.m. class.
We knew he was lying.
Now you're just blatantly lied to me and everyone tuned into the show, either live or after the fact.
Oh man, but I'll be on time. I'll be on time.
And you had the audacity to ask me for free jet tickets to the Falcons game in a couple weeks. I will not give you tickets to anything for free, Mad Max, unless you get to class and you're on time.
We need to see your report card improve, mister, before we can give out any free things on this show.
When do you have this class? When do you have this class?
9:30 a.m. in the morning.
What day? How many days a week? Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
2 days a week.
So Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
All right, so every Tuesday, Thursday, I need you on Discord where you message me asking for free jet tickets. I need you to send a picture of you at your desk sitting down on time for that 9:30 class. If you do that every Tuesday and Thursday from now until the Falcons game, I will get you 2 tickets for the game for free.
Should we make him sit in the front row?
Ooh, should we, Dylan?
At least for 2 of how many weeks is it till the Falcons game?
Couple weeks.
Okay, there's 4 weeks till the Falcons game. 2 of those weeks you have to sit in the front row both days.
Sounds good.
So 4 days you have to sit in the front row. You got to pay attention, bro. Are you on tuition?
Yeah, I'm on tuition, but I always pay attention to class. I always pay attention in class.
I always pay attention after I show up 15 minutes late.
Come on, Jake. I'm an A in that class. I'm an A. Like, come on, I'm an A. Let's be real.
Mad Max, just because you talk loud over us does not mean that you're making coherent points here and getting your way out of this one. If you want to go to the Jets-Falcons game, and they're good seats, premium seats, you could take a lovely lady with you that you're spending all this time talking to, all right? You have to be on time for all your classes, but I need proof of the 9:30 a.m. one because I can at least verify it with your classmate who said you're 15 minutes late every time. So you need to be on time and send proof in the Discord. Message me proof that you're there by 9:30 Tuesday and Wednesday the next 4 weeks.
Tuesday, Thursday, yeah. Sounds good, Jake.
All right, Mad Max?
Sounds good.
You got a deal.
Were you late
today? What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
You think he was going to answer your question honestly?
No, but he was 100% late today.
He's late to every class.
If that guy Chase hit you up today, he was late today.
Yeah, unbelievable. Chase
That's
Donovan.
Crazy. On tuition, just skipping class.
I won't stand for this here. I want Asmaniacs to be good students, good humans, good people in the community.
I was gonna say you went to college. 50% of this panel went to college. So
David wants to know what are the FanDuel odds that Mad Max makes it to his class on time. I would bet everything I own that he will not be on time the next 4 weeks to that, at least that class.
You are not getting a picture of him in the front row on Tuesday.
No, he's not. There's a better chance of the Jets winning out than Mad Max being on time to his classes to get free tickets for Jets Falcons.
Yeah. Genergy in the comments saying, does he take notes? And I'm like, no, he forgot his pencil. And then we're both realizing that everything is on a freaking iPad anymore.
By the way, we thought Aaron Glenn had a back pedal yesterday. I mean, Mad Max was like Darrelle Revis backpedaling during that call.
I'm never late. Well, it's 9:30. Like, you know how disrespectful that is to your teacher to walk in 15 minutes late, have her stop or him stop his lesson and like watch you walk in and take your seat? Like, come on, man. And then it's at least another 5 minutes before he probably has anything open ready to take notes. So come on.
Be better, Mad Max. We expect more from you. Let's see. V-Man in the house. Super chat. Wow, this is getting crazy. Burrow on the Jets would be an insane thought to comprehend. By the way, rate my new icon. It's great, V-Man. I love it. You're the best to ever do it.
Oh, is that the Puerto Rico flag?
Yeah, it's just
okay, cool.
Big fella. Max, get your ass to class on time. Barney says, younger than Rodgers, cuter than Zach, better than both. W2F Burrow Mania. He also plays chess, which would make him the smartest Jet ever. I'm all about it. I don't know how realistic it is, but Schefter didn't poo-poo it, which is why I will at least have the discussion with Dylan as we get at the beginning. For those of you tuning in late, Paul checks in. Burrow is going to be a Jet. I'm also going to be winning the Mega Millions this week. You could, Paul. It's possible. Going back to reality, Jets need to draft their quarterback this year. Cannot wait till 27 and put fans through another no-hope season. Amen, Paul. I am with you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Take a quarterback this year. I think they're going to. One of Mendoza, Simpson, or more will be a Jet.
Yeah. And I don't know if you bought any tickets to the lottery, Paul, but that's what the Jets were trying to do, right? They have 8 lottery tickets in the first 2 rounds of the next 2 drafts. So you got to be in it to win it, just like the Jake Asman Show weekly and daily raffles. You got to be in it to win it. So the Jets are positioning themselves to at least be part of conversations. Like, the worst thing, Jake, honestly, would be if, 4 veteran quarterbacks got moved this year and the Jets didn't have the ammo to go make a move or be in the conversation for one of those guys. Like, that would be more disappointing than anything else, right? The Jets at least put themselves in the center of the conversation of like, they have control of whatever they want to do.
PBM says, I love Burrow. I also love Super Saiyan Julian. He's a future NFL MVP. I can't wait till 2027 though to maybe get the Ohio State quarterback. I can't do it.
Well, what if it's so hard. I can't even ask this question because Justin Fields has been so bad, but like, is there anything Justin Fields shows you that it's like, okay, maybe it's worth the discussion of?
He plays like he did against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in most of these games coming up.
Right. And having AD Mitchell and maybe John Mechie and, keeping Breece Hall and Garrett, obviously, like, it's all things that are going to help evaluate the quarterback better. So we'll see what happens. But maybe there is, again, a 0.5% chance that Fields, Cook, and a late round rookie is the quarterback room. I don't love it, but like, there's a non-zero chance. So
Zach Van Buren. Every time I hear someone demanding Joe Burrow, I get old school WFAN Jerome from Manhattan vibes. Deep cut for fellow old-timers. Hey, RIP to Jerome from Manhattan. I know exactly what you were referring to, Zach Van Buren. For any longtime New York sports radio listener, you do too. Macy checks in. Burrow to the Jets would change the Glenn timeline or not? Yeah, they'd have to win. Obviously, it's Joe Burrow. Or is 27 when the clock begins and starts being graded regardless of having Burrow? It changes immediately if they made that kind of move. That's part of the reason why I think the Jets won't do it. Aaron Glenn, for job security, could say, I got to get my quarterback this year.
Mm-hmm.
They can win 3 or 4 games in 2026. Guess what? Oh, well, now he's got growing pains out of the way. Now we got 3 wins in 27. Now it all comes together. Like that. Like, him and Muji gave themselves a lot more job security with these trades of Sauce and Quinnen because Woody believes in them. Obviously, he gave them the sign off to do it, which means they're now going to get to see this vision through.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not going to like me saying this, but Tuesday honestly felt like the first day of the regime, right? I understand they gave contracts to Sauce and Garrett and Sherwood and a very small contract for starter money to Justin Fields, but like, those moves of Sauce and Quinnen and actually like accepting the rebuild, it actually feels like that was the first time we felt like we had a new regime. Other than that, I felt like we were just in purgatory for the first 8 games. So at least we start to see there is a vision from the GM and head coach, whether we agree with it or not. And trust me, there's plenty of things I've disagreed with them this offseason about starting first and foremost with Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know. It feels like Tuesday was like, okay, Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are the guys. We know this, at least for the end of this year and next year. 2027 is obviously a gray area because if
it
you
depends
go
how bad 26
right.
is.
If you have 3 wins over the next 2 years, it's not good. Like, Aaron Glenn never should come back for 2027. But it does feel like this is like day 3 of the Aaron Glenn regime after all that.
Yeah, to me, Aaron Glenn, win games, man, because we could say, oh, you got this plan. If they finish with 1 or 2 wins this year, right? Let's say they finish with 3 wins, and then they go out there next year and get off to a brutal start, it's going to get loud, real loud. Like we've seen coaches get fired in season a lot more in today's NFL. Woody did it a few years ago. I think they got to show real improvement. So we will see.
And let me just clarify what I said, because somebody asked in the chat, what is the vision? The vision is collecting assets to go get offensive firepower. That is all that this means, right? Trading Quinnen and Sauce, specifically your best defensive players, while calling Garrett Wilson an untouchable player. It's very telling that all they want to do is load up assets on the offensive side of the ball. Sure, they have defensive needs, right? Defensive tackle, edge, depth, linebacker now with Quincy, and who knows about Sherwood. You need a safety. Like corner's probably the only one where your 3 starters across the board are under contract for next year. So yes, there's going to be defensive needs, but everything is shifting the focus to building the offense for whoever that quarterback is. If it's Julian Sayin, if it's Joe Burrow, if it's John Mateer, Ty Simpson, whoever it is, they are loading up to get the full experience of being an NFL quarterback without the excuses in the way of not finding the true evaluation.
Zach says Max's sense of urgency to get to class on time equals Justin Fields' sense of urgency to get the ball out on time. Well done,
dude, if he talked as fast as he walked to class, he'd be 25 minutes early.
No, he'd be there like the day before.
He talks like Beast emails, no punctuation.
That's a good comp. Robin says only 2 Jet QBs named Joe won a Super Bowl. Only 2 Jet QBs named Joe Flacco.
Oh, shit.
I was like, who's the other Joe? And I was like, it's like, I remember this. Because what was the joke with Rodgers? It was like, the Jets replaced one Super Bowl MVP with another when we went like Flacco and got Rodgers like that offseason.
Oh, yeah. Dude, honestly, shout out Buffalo, because his analogies on Twitter are the best. And it was during the Bengals Steelers primetime game. And he's like, I tuned in because they said a 40-year-old former MVP was shitting. And they were right, but it was Joe Flacco and not Aaron Rodgers.
They both were so good that night. It was crazy.
It is crazy.
All right, more calls here. We got some legends on the line. Let's start with this guy. I'm sure he's fired up and has a lot to say on the Jets.
Oh, shit. Hey, my 2 favorite announcers, Dylan and Jake.
Hello, Peter. You seem like you're in a great mood today.
I'm in a real good mood. We're having a big party down here in Florida with the trading of Sauce and Quentin. I think they made a great move.
I don't know who dislikes Sauce Gardner more, you or Joe Beningo.
I was just gonna say, is Joe B invited to this party? Because clearly you guys are just gonna laugh in your own joy here.
There's only one guy I liked less than Sauce Gardner, and that was Quentin Williams. Hey, I have a special guest star for you guys. All right. Now you know who these 2 are, right? Wave.
Hello, special guest stars.
Look.
Oh,
no. Oh, no.
Yes. Let's go.
What's up, gentlemen? I'm over here at Boca Castro. We're going to take bike rides and crash it into a pole, both of us together. That's what we're going to do.
I need video of you guys bike riding together. We need it.
Sauce Gardner. Bye. Bye. Good riddance.
Quentin and Sauce don't want to be here anymore. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. That's what I would have said.
We can't say that about Sauce, right? We can say Quinnen did not want to be here. We can't say the same thing about Sauce, right? He was pretty blindsided by the trade.
Sauce wanted to be here, but he just needs to learn how to play football.
He was taking care of his injury and his concussion that he thought he had when somebody kicked him in the head, because his shoulders are so narrow he can't hit anybody with his shoulders. They're so narrow. All he is a head.
On Sunday,
I guarantee I would, when I was 3, I would love to catch a ball one-on-one 20 years ago when I weighed 330 pounds, and I'd run straight at Sauce and kick him right in the head. He'd fall back 10 yards. I don't care how big, how professional he is.
You talk
What's
like
up,
he's
guys?
Kyle Wilson. You could say
I know.
you're happy with the trade, but we don't need to act like Sauce was just terrible all the
No,
time.
he wasn't terrible, Jake. I didn't say he
Listen,
was terrible.
Sauce was a good player for 2
It was
years.
a good trade. I agree with the trade. They got a ton of value from him. It was the right move.
Jake, I agree with you. The hope now is that the crew at the top can get some draft picks that can do something. Because I'm not so sure I trust them either.
Yeah,
Glenn.
that's
They
fair.
can hit on the picks, and if the coaching remains terrible, it won't matter. That's my fear. Glenn's got to be a better coach. Like, he's got to show improvement.
I'll tell you, Moogie's pretty impressive so far.
He's done a good job extracting value, and all the in-season trades have been great. So that gives me some hope with him.
So hold on. Well, I want to ask you guys, all three of you guys, this. Because Muji made trades that we like and we approve, does that give Aaron Glenn any extra points in your book, considering that Muji was, quote, Glenn's sidekick by
No.
Woody Johnson?
I will say this to you. If they are smart, Peter mentioned this, and I agree with him.
They keep Muji and move on from
No,
Glenn.
hang on. They should hire a consultant to pick the quarterback, like a Gruden. Pay somebody money just to pick a quarterback if they don't think Muji is the guy to do it. Look at this, guys. Look at it.
Well, it's Glenn and Muji, though. Glenn's going to have the final decision on who they
Right.
take.
I get it. But I think that they should get some help if they feel they need it. Like
Mm-hmm.
at one of these consultants, like everybody gets that guy from the Colts. Who's that guy in the Colts? He's still doing it. He's the gray-haired guy. You know who I'm talking about, Jake? He was our Tom Moore. Like a guy like that really, maybe they could hire Parcells as a consultant since Glenn talks about him so much.
What about Norv Turner? We have his son, Scott Turner, as a coach.
I don't like North Turner.
No.
I'm making a one-to-one connection with Scott. That's all
I'd
I'm
hire
saying.
Jordan Palmer, who trains quarterbacks
That's a good
for a
one.
living, and
Yep.
was steadfast that Sam Darnold was good no matter, and never wavered in it. And I don't know. I just like his evaluation of quarterbacks, how he talks about him, he works with them. That's a
Jake,
guy I'd
who's
give
the
a
guy
blank
that's
check.
Jake? Who's the guy that's the OC now? That was our quarterback. That's OCing now. The young kid,
Josh McCown.
McCown.
He's a quarterback coach, though. I don't
The
think
young
he's the OC,
kid.
is he?
The young
I would
kid,
take-
Josh McCown.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm very happy with this trade. They got a lot back for these guys. I never thought they'd get it for Quentin. A 1 and a 2. I thought maybe a 2, but Sauce Gardner. No matter what you say, Muji had to go to Glenn and say, "What are we going to do here?" And so Glenn must have seen enough that he said, "Okay, for 2 1s,
It's
what do you
value.
get?"
It's 2-1, and I also think they
And a
like
receiver.
who they used a third-round pick on.
Yeah.
Probably had a much higher grade on. Which
And
is why they took him.
supposedly the Colts offer was originally 1 first-round pick. And Muji got it all the way up to 2 first-round picks and a second-year wide receiver who has 3 years on his contract.
Did a great job.
And the tackle we got weighs 330 pounds. I saw tape of him. He was getting in the backfield every time. Watch that guy on Sunday get a sack before Quinnen gets one. Watch.
I don't know about Mozzie Smith. I'm a little skeptical about Mozzie Smith and what he's going to do on this team. I don't believe in PFF rankings, but that graphic of him being 119 out of 119 on PFF's ranking system didn't make me feel great about it. But
yeah, but I don't. Doesn't
he's
matter.
an upside swing. He's an upside swing, and they've already proven they can find defensive tackles, in Phillips and Briggs. So if they can hit 3 for 3 on Smith as well, then yeah, I'm down.
And I have one last thing I want to say. I say we try to get Shador right now in case as a backup for Justin for
The
Fields.
trade deadline passed. It's over.
But all right, we can't get him anyway.
No,
Maybe.
no, you can't.
They'd
get
have to
him.
cut him, and that's not happening.
All right. So
want him now.
no, but I would take him now and then try
Do
out.
what?
All right, forget about that. 2026, Jake. 2026, we got a quarterback right away. I agree with that. Right?
We need a
Let's get-
quarterback. Yes.
We get the number 1 guy in 26 that we want. And if we miss, we get the number 1 guy in 27, another quarterback. Who cares?
I don't disagree. I think we need to take a quarterback every year until we get
Right,
one.
until we hit one.
None of this matters. Like, we watched the Jets actually take picks 5 years ago, hit on most of them, but because they fucked the Zach Wilson one up so badly,
Right.
they never won anything.
If we get 2 first-rounders in 26 and 27, and I don't believe these guys. Last year, like you said, everybody thought the 26 draft class was full of quarterbacks. Now they say there's none of them.
Every year we do this. I'm
Right.
tired of it. Take a quarterback.
And next year they're going to say the same crap. And we're not getting Arch Manning. There's no way we're getting him because he's going to go. We're not getting him because let's face it, his uncle hates the Jets. He's never coming to us, so forget about him.
Mendoza's coming.
All right, well, maybe it's Mendoza, and if it's not Mendoza, we throw him in halfway through the season next year, let him sink or swim, and then right away, 27, we take the best one.
Then we got to worry.
And then we got 2 first-rounders. One of them is bound to be good, right or wrong. And then we get a guy that knows how to develop quarterbacks as a coach when Glenn goes.
I hope. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Now, what's for dinner tonight in Boca? What are we having at House Castro?
I'm going to a restaurant. We're leaving here, and we're going to go to a restaurant. We are hanging out Sunday and watching the game together.
Yes.
I'm coming back here to watch the game, me and Peter. So we'll see each other on Sunday. I just happened to stop by here because we were visiting another friend. The weather's not terrific here. Peter promised me 85 and sunny, and it's cloudy since I walked in the door here. So it's not much better in New York, but at least I get to smoke cigars outside. I came in Peter's door, and his neighbor brought me 2 beautiful cigars. I never even met the guy before. So Peter is the king down here in Boca, that's for sure.
I love it. Well, you two have a great dinner. And,
all right, guys.
A great call.
Thanks for time. I'll talk to you soon.
So long, boys.
I love that. What a surprise. A Neil Castro combo call in Florida. Love it.
Whatever they have for dinner, I'm just going to say it right now. You're not allowed to have sauce with it. If you're this happy that we don't have sauce anymore, you have to eat your meal plain.
Wow. Telling 2 Italian guys they can't have sauce. Come on, Dylan.
Well, some call it gravy, right? I don't know. We don't need to do the Italian minute back with these guys, but some
that
call
was my
it gravy,
favorite
right?
segment I ever did. I'm like, if you're Italian, call in. They just threw him out.
And then Beast calls in. It's like, no, Beast.
All right, more of your calls. I mean, we got just legend after legend on the line here. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Gator says, I think Big Joe might need an intro.
Big Joe. Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. Big Joe. I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles. We're talking about Big Joe. My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
I put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands earlier. Came home just chilling. Big Joe. Jake.
Big Joe.
What's up, brother?
How are you, Big Joe?
Good. Did you go to the Knicks game last night?
I did not go to the Knicks game last night, but I was watching it.
When you go, where do you normally sit?
Usually with Spike Lee.
No, seriously.
I usually with Spike Lee.
Are you serious?
I mean, you've seen me at the games.
Nah, I look for you, but I never see you.
Sometimes I'm wearing a hat.
And you sit next to Spike for real?
Yeah, I do all the time.
Oh, okay. I need to be you.
It's good to be Jake Asman, they say, Big Joe, but it's good to be Big Joe.
I don't know. It seems like it's better to be Big Jake sitting next.
I don't know.
At the Knicks game.
Yeah, sometimes with Garrett Wilson too. Nate reminded me that the time he was in our ESPN New York suite that one night.
Okay. So how you doing?
I'm doing well, Big Joe. How are you?
Good. Just 12 more days for my operation.
Bobby Midnight had a toe operation today. You're getting a back operation. Everyone's getting operations.
Big Joe. Yeah. Got to get rid of this nerve pain.
We're talking about Big Joe.
So is everybody upset about the trades the other day or what?
I think most fans like what they did as far as what they got back.
Right. They just have to hit on the picks.
They do.
I wonder who will pick for quarterback next year.
Can I make a generic statement to everyone who watches the show? We all understand they need to hit on the picks, so we all don't need to couch every statement about liking the trade with, well, I got to hit on the picks. Yes, it is inferred that the Jets now need to take the draft capital and make something of it. Otherwise, it was not a good move to trade 2 former All-Pros, no matter what you got for them. Now continue, Big Joe.
Nah, I just was reiterating what most people were saying.
We're talking about Big Joe.
I think we're gonna need to have Gator make a like a disclaimer for the beginning of your videos every day, Jake. every conversation is nuanced by the fact that the Jets need to hit on their draft picks. Thank you for tuning in to the Jake Asman Show.
So what you saying?
We're talking about Big Joe.
Jake, what are you saying, man?
You called in, Big Joe. I'm waiting to hear what you're saying.
No, I said what I had to say. Then you said something about a disclaimer.
I just gave the disclaimer.
So you can't give your opinion or what?
No, the disclaimer was we all understand that the Jets now need to hit on these picks. So I'm just giving the disclaimer to everyone in the future. No one needs to make that point. We all understand that point. It is inferred in any conversation surrounding the Jets going forward.
Got it.
Big Joe.
What do you think about the game on Sunday?
Team that scores more points probably wins.
Right. Well, we know that point. You need to put that in your disclaimer too.
People, disclaimer, the team that scores more points in the Jets-Browns game Sunday will win, effective immediately.
There you go. Good job, Jake.
Thank you, Big Joe.
We're talking about Big Joe.
Yeah, I watched the Knicks last night. They look pretty good.
You think Mike Brown is doing a good job so far, Big Joe?
Yeah, so far. I want to see how the offense looks later on down the road, but we'll see.
Hey, Big Joe, can you give us a little Seminole? Oh. That was well done, Big Joe. It looks like you've done that a lot.
I was doing it last Saturday at the game. Remember I told you it was going down?
Yeah, how was the game? I heard a couple of listeners came up to you. They recognized you.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. 42-7. It was a little cold though for Florida. It was in the 40s.
It was a little choey.
Yeah, it was chilly. A little chilly. But it was fun though. We had a good time. Hadn't seen my roommate in 30 years. Saw him and his wife. We stayed in the Airbnb. It was pretty nice.
You each have your own room?
Yeah, I mean, he stayed with his wife in his room, and I stayed in my room. Although I didn't stay in my bed because I had to sleep upright, and I kept sliding down on the bed because there was nothing really to hold me up. So I was having severe nerve pain in my left side, and then I was having trouble getting out of the bed. So when I eventually got out of the bed during the night, I just said, screw this. I got the comforter and went outside to the couch and slept upright like you're watching TV for the next 2 nights. That way I wouldn't have any nerve pain, because this nerve pain's a bitch.
Well, hopefully after this procedure, you won't have to deal with it anymore.
That's what they say. We'll have to see. I'm hoping. Because it's not a lot of fun. You ever had nerve pain before?
When I watch the Jets on Sundays, usually.
Yeah.
I have, Joe, yes.
You have nerve pain for real, Dylan?
I have before, yes.
Yeah, it's not fun.
When I was a landscaper in the wintertime, we doubled as snow removal. And I carried a 5-gallon bucket of salt for 45 hours. And I couldn't move my back for like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like hunched over, throwing salt for 45 hours.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So back pain is no joke. I definitely see where you're coming from. I empathize with you.
I appreciate that. Hopefully it'll be done I'm looking forward to the 18th to get this done. Need a lot of thoughts and prayers going forward.
For sure.
What
You
else
said
is new, Big
12
Joe?
days till the surgery?
Yeah, it's on the 18th. Today's the 6th. So
Okay.
yeah, 12 days.
What's for dinner tonight, Big Joe?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
You should drive down to Florida, go get dinner with Peter Castro and Neil.
What are they having for dinner?
We're not sure. They said they're going to some sort of restaurant.
Oh, okay. I feel you. I went to the restaurant called Bobby Bowden's on campus last Friday for lunch. It was pretty nice.
You didn't go to Jimbo Fisher's?
Nah, I went to Bowden's.
When you walk in there, do you have to do the Seminole chant?
No, but if somebody asks, I would do it.
All right, so I'm the hostess. You walk into Bowden's, and I'm going to say, hey, Big Joe, table for one?
And I'd say yes. Ho, 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 ho.
Gator says, I think Big Joe might need an intro.
Big Joe. Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. Big Joe. I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles. We're talking about Big Joe. My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
I put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands early. Came home just chilling. Big Joe.
Table for Cho, baby. Hell yeah.
We're talking about Big Joe.
Elite caller.
One of the best. One of the best. Cho, good luck with the procedure. I know you still got some time, but hopefully we hear from you a bunch before and then, of course, after. Derek, I see your raffle entry here. You gifted a membership. I'm putting the names together, people. So last chance here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We got everyone on hold. I promise you we will get you on before we get to the raffle here. We are giving away a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey today. So make sure you gift the membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to enter. Bino wants to know, what are the odds Castro eats anything without sauce?
Yeah, that's why I said it, because like you said, they're Italian, so everything comes with sauce. So if you restrict them to no sauce, then they actually have to struggle a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, more of your outstanding calls right now, shall we? Let's say hello to a man who usually calls in to argue with me. JJ is next. Hello, JJ.
I like how you said outstanding calls, man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to start off by saying I love Joe Burrow, man. I really do. I actually went to the Tennessee Titans game when they played the Cincinnati Bengals in I think it was the divisional round in the playoffs a couple years back. I actually went to that game and I was like, wow, watching Joe Burrow in person, he has like almost no flaws when he actually plays. But here's the thing. I don't want to overpay for that guy. He's been injury prone. I love him, but he's been injury prone the last couple. I think the last 3 seasons, he's the end of the season on IR, you guys were saying. So I don't want to overpay. I think that with all the draft picks that we have, man, why not just draft our own quarterback and then draft a stud wide receiver in the first round? Like, pick 1 quarterback, pick 2 in the first round, wide receiver, and solidify that wide receiver room, and then give that quarterback a chance. And then in the second round, go get you a linebacker, a stud linebacker to shore up the middle of our defense, and then see what we got there. I don't want to overpay. If we got to overpay for Joe Burrow, I'd rather us just draft something and try to turn this franchise around with our own homegrown talent. And I don't care what happened in the past, man. We got to stop saying, drafting quarterbacks in the past never helped us. That has nothing to do with this new regime. Like, we act like because Woody Johnson is the owner that everything is always going to be the same. No, man, we got to have some type of hope that things are going to turn around. And why not this year with Muji? I like Muji.
I think Muji did a great job with the trade deadline and extracting value. I think he's done well with the in-season trades, finding value there. Time will tell. I mean, it's tough to truly evaluate Muji from the personnel side of things because we know Glenn is so heavily involved in that. So Glenn gets credit, in my opinion, for the good or the bad with personnel. Like he gets credit for Membu and Taylor as much as Muji does, for example.
Right. I want to ask you the same question, JJ. I asked Neil and Peter Castro before. I understand you're not in love right now with Aaron Glenn, but does Muji's moves give you more confidence in AG, considering that he's supposed to be the head guy in charge? He's probably got final say on these moves. So does that move the needle for Glenn with you?
So here's my thing. And this is gonna sound like a typical stupid JJ answer. So go ahead and get your comments ready. But I honestly feel like Aaron Glenn might have not been given the best odds to win this year, based off of everything that happened last year. And I think, he came in here this season thinking that he had one type of team and quickly realized that he has another. And I appreciate the fact that he is essentially admitting that he was wrong about the team that he had and are trading away these players and trying to do it his own way through the draft. Does that make any sense to you guys, what I just said?
Yes. I don't know if you caught me earlier, but I said Tuesday felt like the first day of the Aaron Glenn regime with the Jets.
Yes, I agree. I think that he came in here and was like, yo, I can win with these guys, coaching. He was talking all that tough talk. And then when he was losing games in the beginning, I think he was genuinely surprised and confused and shocked at what was going on. And I think he took a hard look at himself in the mirror and said, you know what? Maybe I'm not as good as a coach as I thought I was. And maybe I don't have as good as a team around me as I thought I did. So let me go and get draft stock, draft capital, and high premium picks. I mean, you got to give it to them. It's not like we went out there and gave up these players for nothing. We actually got overpaid for these players. I'm seeing a lot of Colts fans talking about, yo, why did we give up 2 first rounds and a wide receiver for Sauce Gardner?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good. It's good to be on the other side of that. And that was the one thing you guys praised Joe Douglas about, was what he was able to get for Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold. I mean, this is a kind of highway robbery what Muji just got for Sauce Gardner. So, and who knows what that wide receiver. Yeah, and Williams. So who knows what that wide receiver is going to be? But I mean, when you got 2 first rounds next year, and then you got a second round, a high second round pick, hopefully, because the Cowboys look like they're going to suck, and then you have another 3 first round picks in 2027. I mean, my God, go draft a quarterback, and then in 2027, go build an even better defense and offensive line around him. You can really do that in the next 2 drafts. So I'm happy with the moves. The only thing that I'm disappointed in is I feel like regardless of what happens next year, they're going to stick with Aaron Glenn, and I don't think that's fair. I mean, Muji, you proved yourself. Whether Aaron Glenn is evolved or not, you proved yourself. You proved you can be a competent GM, because I doubt Aaron Glenn was on the phone and saying, hey, I'm not giving you guys Sauce Gardner for only 1 first round pick. You're going to have to make it 2 and a wide receiver. I don't think Aaron Glenn had anything to do with that. He probably was like, yeah, let's trade Sauce, but I don't think he was in the room making the negotiations. So Muji proved himself to me the way he was able to get what he got for those guys. So at the end of the day, man, Aaron Glenn, this year is a wash. Okay, cool. Next year, let me see what it looks like in the first couple of games. And if he's not doing a good job still next year and I don't see any progression, I don't think that he should be able to stay in and get to have that cop out of, oh, these aren't my guys. It just doesn't make any sense. And I'll ask you guys this. How long, because I can't remember, but how long did it take after they fired Chip Kelly from the Eagles for the Eagles to turn it around and win a Super Bowl? Like, how many years after Chip Kelly's firing did they win that Super Bowl?
I forget what year he was fired. He was fired in 2015, and their first Super Bowl was 2017.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it right now, man. If we've seen it happen, Chip Kelly went in there and got rid of everybody. LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, you name them. He got rid of their star players, everything, and they fired Chip Kelly. They brought in a new head coach. They drafted a quarterback, Carson Wentz. They brought in a good backup in Nick, whatever his name was. And then they went on to win a Super Bowl.
Nick Foles, I mean.
Yeah,
I mean, we can only hope
so-
that the Jets could do something like that. But like, we got it. Aaron Glenn's not going anywhere yet. JJ, he's gonna get this year and probably next year at the bare minimum. So just hope he gets better and they get the right.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like it took the Eagles 2 years to turn it around. So I'm saying, okay, this is year one. I'm not expecting us in year 2 to win the Super Bowl, but I'm expecting us. Hey, let me see what it looks like. Let's make the playoffs as a wild card team next year. Let's do all the things we thought we were going to do this year. Let's do them next year because I mean we've seen rookie quarterbacks come in and take their teams to the playoffs. C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, the list goes on and on. I know I've been talking for a long time, so I'll end on this. I want to know what you guys' thoughts on Kyler Murray. I know Jake, you don't like him, but we've just seen so many quarterbacks go to other teams and succeed. The Sam Darnolds of the world, the Daniel Jones of the world. The list goes on and on. I mean, I'm not opposed to us drafting a quarterback and then bringing Kyler Murray in as the bridge quarterback and seeing what he can do. Just like how they did with Sam Darnold and the Vikings last year. You know, same kind of similar thing.
Give up. I'd rather draft a quarterback. Real quick, what's the update on your season tickets? Do the Jets need to beat the Browns for you to renew? Is that still on the table?
No, so okay, here's the thing, right? I keep flip-flopping, man, because like I enjoy the experience. I was actually wrong. I usually when I look on the secondary market for where I sit, it's much more expensive. But yeah, they were right. Like I think I pay like I don't even know what per seat. I have four seats, mind you that. So I was looking on secondary market, and I mean, you guys are right. But I could probably get them for cheaper. So I'm still thinking about it. You know what's crazy? My wife, right, bro? This is insane. She got conned into getting season tickets for the Knicks, right? Because she's a huge Knicks fan, but they did some like 4-way. It's like 4 different people. Each person gets like 3 games, and it's like a crap ton of money. And I'm so pissed about it. And then she's like, yeah, well, at least the Knicks are good. You're spending all that money for the Jets. And I'm like, you got a point. But I don't understand. The Knicks, oh my gosh. Like, imagine being a Knicks fan, right? And then you have to pay like $400, $300 for the nosebleeds to go watch a game. It's really getting ridiculous what they're doing with these sporting events. My God, like, it's insane. Just to get a ticket to last night's game, I think they were playing the Minnesota. It was going for like $300.
Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets!
Breaking news from JJ: tickets to sporting events, especially Knicks games, are expensive. We know, JJ, they're insane. They're absolutely insane. I don't know.
That is a weird like thing that his wife got involved in with the season.
How did your wife get conned into getting tickets though? Just like, you know, she made a bad deal. I don't know.
Yeah, that's awful. If my wife was involved in any sort of 4-way, I'd be very worried.
Dylan,
calm your freaky down.
All right. More calls here. We will get to the remaining super chats. I want to shout out Jonathan. I sent him 2 tickets. Jonathan's taking his daughter to her first ever Jets game on Sunday. Thank you to several listeners who have donated tickets. Jonathan is one of the recipients of the fellow Asmaniac donating tickets to other Asmaniacs ticket drive we do on the show, especially now that we've reached November when no one wants to go to Jet games. So I'm always happy to give them to people who can use them. And Jonathan's taking his daughter to her
awesome.
first ever game. So that's what it's all about.
I love sending kids to their first Jets games.
That's right. Welcome to hell. Jacob, I have a number 16 Vinny jersey. If I win, I'd like One Punch Day Brigga to enjoy. Wow. Bino in the raffle for 2 and says, if I win, give it to One Punch Day Brigga. Awesome. Bino, that's an awesome gesture. All right. Home stretch here. We got a legend on the line. His phone is going to die any second, so we got to quickly squeeze him in.
Dylan, Jake, it's me, Kyle. How are
Kyle Clifton. Wow, a lot of people just lost. No one had Kyle Clifton outside given the weather today in New York.
I was. It's just a little chilly. I'm getting my steps in. I decided to take a break. but as you said, my phone's getting a little bit low. And I wanted to cop to something. Like I was texting with Big Show today, and I might have had kind of like the the very lame take that we've got to stick the picks. So I appreciate Show didn't out me.
It really is a great take. The Jets have to take these picks, so they got to hit on the picks.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? There's another great one. I'll tell you, like, I think I said it earlier. Like, this is all a pipe dream unless he tries to force his way out with Burrow. He has to want out because there's no other way they're going to want to trade him just to restart the clock. When you have a guy that good and he's still in his 20s, you probably keep him. And then the next thing after that is, since he's got no trade, are the Jets on a list of places he absolutely will not go? We don't know any of these things, right? I don't know if people are really too confident about the future of any of these guys that are coming out this year. It's not like a slam dunk year.
Mm-hmm.
There are guys that have potential high upside, but it's not like you're looking at like a Peyton Manning or an Andrew Luck or a John Elway where you can pretty much take it to the bank. So although I agree that if they do use the pick, it's got to be the number 3 or higher pick has to be on a quarterback this year because that's what they need to do to buy themselves the time. And, if they don't do it, then they might not get to make those picks in 2027. I think that, there's a real chance if you take a look at this year when we got the extra second round pick, this is a perfect year to trade back if they can and recoup the third rounder that we lost with the Hassan Reddick deal. So I have a great deal of faith in Muji. I really do. I think he's doing things that are pretty smart. And I kind of think, I hope at least, that Glenn kind of lets him do his thing as far as the negotiation goes, right? Like you make the decision jointly. It's time to move on from Quinnen and Sauce and go get what we can. You go get it and just check with me about what we're going to get before we get it, right? I think that's probably the dynamic that we're dealing with right now. But there's absolutely no evidence at this point, unless you want to claim Arian Smith, it so far has been a little underwhelming, and Tyler Barron, that Muji is a failure as a personnel guy. I think that there's a great deal of promise there. I think that these deals definitely show it. I think he hit on the first 2 rounds pretty easily, and we're going to see on AZ Thomas over the next 9 games. But there's a lot to be happy about when you look at Muji. The thing to be disappointed about with this regime is Glenn promised us that we were here to win now. He can't backpedal his way out of that. We all saw it. It's good that he's admitting his mistake, and it's good for him that he got the extra time. But as Jet fans, we just have to live with the disappointment and the worry over the next 2 or 3 years about whether he's the guy. I appreciate your time, guys.
Kyle, you're the man. Enjoy mock draft season, baby, because it's never ending. The pivot was correct because of the value they got, but I still don't even love everything they did. I'll criticize Muji for not trading Quincy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Williams, even if you can only get a 5th or a 6th, I heard from people that was out there and they didn't do it. So I think it's a big mistake.
Yeah, it sounded like Dallas offered a 7th in the Quinnen package to get Quincy as well. So that's a little bit too low for me, but it did seem like they had another offer possibly floating out there. The only one that I don't blame them for not pulling the trigger on was Jermaine Johnson for a 2nd. And I think that's done that. And I think it's honestly just because it was a Bills or Patriots executive member offering that 2nd round pick. Buffalo and I talked about it earlier this week. It sounded like once that report came, the AFC East teams were calling the Jets. It was about Jermaine, and then the price all of a sudden was like, okay, they're looking for a 2 and a little bit more. If they're asking for that, it's probably because they don't want to deal him in the division. But if it was like a regular team, like I don't know, The Steelers. If they offered us a second-round pick, and they probably wouldn't, obviously, because of their edge position, but it's just the first team I'm looking at, I'd probably take a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson.
See, I wouldn't. I'd keep him. I wouldn't do it for it, too, because he's a premium player and he's a leader.
Sure.
Made of the right stuff. So I wouldn't. I will criticize them for not trading Brees for the 4th that was reportedly there from Kansas City if they don't keep him. Because now, if you didn't trade Brees Hall, he better be on the 2026 Jets in whatever capacity.
They both better be, honestly. Like, if you're not going to trade Jermaine and he's entering the last year of his 5th year.
He'll be on the team. I don't know if Brees will, though. They could just let Brees walk, which will drive me insane.
Right. But I want to see them both on the roster in 2027 as well. Like, if you let Jermaine go after 2026, I feel like it's still not worth keeping them, for another season and a half. I don't know. That's just me. I felt like once they traded Sauce and Quinton, it was just going to open up the floodgates of a fire sale, but then they kind of tightened it back up and they were like, okay, we're not going to trade anybody else, which was a little surprising.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the jet. He's one handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hey guys, you got me?
Papa Jet, yeah.
I can't do the same thing with my chin, unfortunately. We're getting there.
Let her go, DT. You'll get there someday.
The Dilly Goat.
Yeah. Hey, Jake, I totally agree with you on this quarterback draft talk. All last year, all I heard from the experts and a few people in this chat and Discord, don't draft a quarterback this year. 2026, the year of the quarterback. Same people are saying don't draft a quarterback this year. At least with your first pick, first round pick, 2027 is the year. Because Klubnik and Sellers and the LSU kid took a shit this year. Stop trying to be an expert. I don't know. Just my opinion.
My counterpoint, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm just countering the point. Every year in the early
I was wondering when you were going to stop trying to make a point and acknowledge the farts. Continue, Dylan.
Whenever they do the early mock drafts, they have Carson Beck, right? We'll just use him, right? And now all of a sudden he's gone. He's not even in the realm of possibilities and like a top 2-round pick. So I will say they were probably right that 2026 is better than 2025 because Cam Ward and Jackson Dart and Shadur Sanders were like the highlights of that class. I'm not willing to immediately assume that about 2027, but there's just way too many guys in this class that could just say, yeah, for $4 or $5 million on NIL, I'm going to go back to my school or I'll go to a different school and see what happens there. But to your point, yeah, Sellers was up there and now he's not. Klubnik was up there and now he's not. There was probably like 4 non-Arch Manning quarterbacks in the early 2026 mock drafts, right? In like July or August. And a lot of those guys have completely different outlooks on where they're going to be in the draft. And now Mendoza and Dante Moore and Darian Mensah are like sneaking up the boards, which nobody had on their bingo card before Thanksgiving. So it's too volatile of a position going from college to the NFL. And I agree. I think next year will be better, but that does not excuse you from, or, you can't just bypass this draft class. If there's a guy you like, you have to take your swing. And then if it still doesn't work, then maybe you can get a guy in 2027. But I do think there is some validity to 2027 being stronger than 2026.
Well, I tell you, like, I'm not in on the Burrows talk, but what I would do, I'm drafting a quarterback this year, and we got ammo now. So I'm drafting one next year too, unless the kid we draft this year just blows it out of the water. I'm drafting another one next year. We got the ammo to do it. If people think it's a waste, but we haven't had a franchise quarterback since when?
Pennington.
Now we got the ammo to do it. I'm drafting one this year. I'm drafting one in 2027. And you could always trade one if they're both good.
Papa, from your lips to God's ears, we need to find a quarterback or none of this matters.
Exactly. So,
bro, I could do. That's it. I have. If they used one of their first and 27 on a quarterback as well, all right, keep drafting one till you get one when you have this much ammunition. You can't win without one. So, like, we actually hit on most of our picks the last time we blew it up and are doing what they're now trying to do now. It's a little different because they're not starting from complete scratch like they were in 2020. Like, the line's in place. You got Garrett signed. You know, you have some good players on defense still here in Jermaine and McDonald, for example. But you need a quarterback. You won't win. Now you play in the division with Josh Allen, and the Patriots have Drake May and Mike Vrabel. You need a quarterback.
100%. And people have said, well, and kind of to Papa's point, you could always just do what the Cardinals did, right? You got Josh Rosen at pick 10, and then they had the very first overall pick the following year, and they got Kyler Murray. Now, obviously, the Jets don't need to, you know, solidify the number one pick in 2027 to do the same thing because they have 3 first-round picks. But, dude, could you imagine what this team would have looked like if they got the right quarterback in 2021? Like, that's the type of stuff that we could potentially see with this amount of draft capital. If they get the quarterback right, dude, like, it's actually gonna expedite the rebuild much faster. And I think 2026 would actually be a reasonable spot for them to actually break the playoff drought. So,
ladies and gentlemen, today's dumbass of the day is Jamal or Jay Pritchett. I just went back and read some of his recent comments. Every stream, all he does is just write how much he hates me. So, Jay Pritchett, you wrote in that you think I have a humiliation fetish, the way I embarrass myself, but you watch every day. Now, why is that? Because you're a dumbass. Have a nice life.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
The same guys who complain about the show the most are in here every day. I'm like reading through his comments here. The guy's in here every day, every stream. Loser.
You're
Absolute
like,
loser.
You're like a 15-car pileup. People can't help but look while they're driving past.
I can't stop but look at this sexy man.
I got my Iron G. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi guys.
David
Hey Jake, I was a little afraid. I thought you were putting me in as a dumbass, which could be justifiable, you know.
Hey, David, you ever find the tailgate in Tampa yet, by the way?
Nah, I'm still searching. I'm getting on Google and you know, but I guarantee you know, if you do a game next year, I am going to set it up where I'm going to stay where you recommend, and you know, you know, the meetups, the phone calls. I'm going to try to do it that I can't get lost, you know.
Well, I think we're going to try and do Chicago next year if it times out. So maybe we have you just stay with Beast.
If you do, I mean, the only thing that I'm a little afraid of with Chicago is if it's like later in the year and it's like bitter cold. I mean, I don't know, but Chicago really intrigues me, you know. But Big Cho. Love Big Cho. Praying for Big Cho. Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you.
Yeah. And Peter Castro and Neil. You know, you two are my favorites. And so anyway, you can sign Joe Burrow, but you know, Joe Namath, you know, and I had a female all-time hero. Joe Namath, you can sign any Jet quarterback, but there's going to be no one that can get better tail than what Joe Namath did. He was just, yeah. I mean, I
was not expecting this from you, David.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going, David.
Calm your freaky down.
No, I followed his life and just you know, I mean, you know, the gals and the football player and the personality, and he's from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and just a regular guy, and I just believe to this day he's just a regular guy, and so anyway, yep. But can I throw this out? As far as the draft comes, we're looking for a quarterback. I believe we're going to have to take, with the first pick, a quarterback. But is it possible? And this could be, this could be dumb, but could you actually take 2 or 3 quarterbacks out of the draft?
They're not going to take 2 or 3. I think they could take 2. We've seen teams do that, right? I mean, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant the year they took Trey Lance. Kirk Cousins was picked on day 3 the year they took RG3 in Washington. I don't think they take 3 though total. I think they could maybe take a second late, perhaps, but I don't think they would take 3.
I agree.
Okay. And the thing that scares me, I think the Jets are going to go in there, this week, and they could definitely win. But Aaron Glenn just scares me. And I'm trying to justify it, and the talk of one and done, I think, is over. And it's like, it's like reaching for a rope. I just hope that he gets better.
From your lips to God's ears, David T. Hell yeah.
Abracadabra.
All right, home stretch here. You want to see a magic trick? How about Bobby Midnight post-surgery?
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Bob?
Hello, guys. How you
How'd
doing?
it go, Bob?
Good. Dr. Lacani gave me my surgery. You know
And
Dr.
it went well?
Lacani, right?
Oh, of course, the great
Very
Dr.
good.
Lacani.
Yeah, I like him. He's from New York. He misses the food though, but he doesn't miss New York. I told him I miss New York.
So what's the recovery like, Bobby?
Yeah,
Update the
Dylan, how you
people.
doing, young man?
I'm doing well,
Dylan,
Bobby.
how you doing, young man?
Once I figure out how to unmute myself, I am doing very well, Bobby, and I hope your recovery goes very smoothly.
Yeah, I think it will. It looks good so far.
Did they put you
Yeah,
under?
Jake, I miss you. What?
Did they put you under?
I was knocked out. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
When
Did
I
they make
woke
you
up
count
in
down
the,
from 10?
when I woke up in the recovery room, I couldn't shut my mouth up. I talked so much.
Shocking.
I talked a lot. Yeah, I talked a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I did good in surgery.
Bob, when they counted you down, how far did you make it before you were knocked out?
I don't know. I don't remember. Usually you go 10, 9. I don't know. I really fell asleep quick.
What did you get to?
They gave me that medicine that. What?
Did you get to 8 in the countdown, or you were gone by 9?
I think by 9. I think they
Wow.
gave me that thing that makes you higher than a kite, and then
Did
after
they give
that,
you
they gave
Dilaudid?
me
Is that what it was? Did they give you Dilaudid?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's what the nurse
Hell
gave me.
yeah. A nice
Yeah.
IV drip
Yeah, I
of
think-
Dilaudid, Bobby. Hell yeah, dude. You're zooming.
Yeah. Yeah, I was zooming before. So, Jake, is it Flacco getting traded or something?
No one's being
Not
traded.
Flacco. Burrow?
Not now.
I
Maybe
thought
in the
it said
offseason.
on your channel.
Adam Schefter didn't
Oh,
rule
okay,
out
just
Joe
Joe
Burrow
Burrow,
being
you said.
traded.
Oh, I like that guy. He's a cool guy. He knows a lot of stuff.
Joe Burrow. or
So,
Adam
yeah, I
Schefter?
wanted to call and say, I want Adam Schefter. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Hey, what are you having for dinner in the hospital?
I'm gonna have a turkey sandwich
Nice.
because that what you call it, the kitchen is closed, so they give me a turkey sandwich. So that's good.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't want a little turkey action?
So I wanted to call in to tell everybody how I'm doing.
Any hot nurses in the hospital, Bob?
Oh, there's one I think I haven't met yet. Yeah, she's blonde.
Oh, yeah.
I saw her coming up when I was in my bed. Yeah.
Calm your
They
freaky
have
down.
to bring you up in the hospital bed. Yeah. I shaved today. See?
Nice. Did you?
Better than I looked before on your show. Yeah,
Bobby,
I shaved
you
before
need
I
to figure
came
out how
here.
to complete the shave. You could start the shave. You never actually complete the shave.
I know, right? I know. I got still some left over here. I'm not doing right now. Yeah, I'm a little high. No, I'm not high, but I'm a little. Dylan, you're so funny. You're a good young kid, Dylan. I'm old fart.
Oh,
You
I
know that.
appreciate it, Bobby.
Dylan and I are the
Yeah.
same age, Bobby.
Really? You guys are the same age?
I'm older than Jake.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats. You are not older than Jake.
I'm 6 months older than Jake. Yes.
Oh, okay, well, that's not too bad.
No.
That's great. All right, guys, you're awesome. Keep it
Feel
going,
better,
Jake.
Bobby. All
Keep
right.
it
I'm
going.
glad you called in. We're all wishing you a speedy recovery. All right.
Thank you very much, guys. See you later.
Ladies and
Bye,
gentlemen,
Bobby.
Bobby
Bye,
Midnight
everybody.
live from the hospital.
Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets! Let's go, Jets!
All-time Bobby call.
I didn't anticipate somebody coming on here higher than me, but there's Bobby off the lauded.
All right, that was gonna be the last call, but earlier I ripped Mad Max a new one for being late to class. The guy who called in yesterday and told us that Mad Max is always late is Chase,
Snitch.
and he's called in. Chase, did Mad Max give you word of what went down?
Yeah, I got a text from Mad Max. He was like, "Yo, I heard you were talking about me on the Jake Asman show." I need to read you exactly what he texted me because it was funny. But we made improvements today. We made improvements. Instead of 15, he was only 14 today.
Wow. Okay, so Chase, I don't know if you saw the call when he was on before.
I watched.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. He's going to send me the picture, but I need you to verify it, right? Like, you got to hold his ass. I can't worry about all his other classes, but we need to we need to make sure that the class that you guys have together Tuesdays and Thursdays, he is on time and sitting in the front row. Otherwise, I'm not getting him free tickets for Jets Falcons.
All right, I'll make sure that happens.
Hell
He
yeah.
sits in the back right now with me, and it's funny
course
because
he
every time he walks in, he leaves the door open, and the teacher always says, "Max, can you please close the door?" So we'll work on getting there on time, but then after that, we have to work on closing the door.
All right, this kid's a disgrace. We got to whip him into shape.
Disrespectful, man. Come on.
It's unbelievable. Chase, look, no pressure, but the entire Asmaniac community, 43,000 subscribers, are counting on you to make sure Mad Max is on time and ready to roll in class.
Don't worry, I won't disappoint.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max classmate Chase Donovan checking in.
You know what's funny? I was gonna call him Chase the Informant, and then Chase just made me think Paw Patrol because I have two young nephews, and I'm like, which character is Chase? And he's the police officer, so he might have to be police officer Chase. That's pure, man. I mean, you have evidence that Mad Max is skipping, and he's still trying to lie his way out.
Nick Shine, Bobby's call is the same as yesterday. His privates are exposed and breathing free. Look, we don't know what was exposed yesterday. There's a lot of speculation that Bobby's nutsack was not exposed on the air.
I pray they were just like his thighs.
What do you think it was, Dylan? I sent you the video evidence.
Yeah, and I thanked you for the zoomed in part.
You're welcome.
I would like to think.
I know you like to study the tape.
The all two of Bobby Midnight.
the all two.
I hope it's not what we saw. I hope it's just his thighs like pushed up together. But like, I texted you right away. I was like, I've heard of assless chaps, but like, what the hell is Bobby trying to do here?
The all two. Unbelievable. I'm counting raffle tickets, including this from 25. How you feeling, Bobby? Praying for a speedy recovery. Matty P in the raffle for 1. Niall writes in, I'm thinking after Burrow's crib got robbed, he wants out. Let's definitely trade up. 3
Yeah,
first
Bang.
rounders.
Talk about that, right? He hates Cincinnati. He got robbed in Cincinnati. Talk about that, Bang. Other things come into the play. Like,
let me sound like Joe Beningo. He might not want to be in New York City, bro, with all the crime coming now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one guy he didn't like left New York, and one guy he didn't like comes into New York. Oh, Joe B can't escape it. I'm sure he'd take sauce. I'm sure he'd take sauce.
comments, questions, super chats, last chance here. James called in. James, what do you got? You got the final word as I count raffle tickets. You kind of look like
Oh,
what you said.
appreciate
You're
that,
mild
Jake.
mannered, Max.
Well,
Yeah, he
every time I
does.
call in, I see a bunch of comments that say, "Oh, is this Mad Max's uncle? Is this like?" And anyway, so I just figured I'd put mild mannered Max up there. But no, I'm excited. You know what a dream scenario for me would be? Let's sign Burrow. What's the worst that happens? If he stays healthy, he's one of the best QBs in the league. But let's load up on our position players, like a wide receiver, maybe a cornerback. But I don't know. We'll see how these ones do because they've been doing better than I would have expected. A D tackle, like load up on star position players. Use Burrow for a year, and then you know who we should draft in 2027? Cole Pennington.
Ooh.
The team is set up
Cole
for success.
eligible?
You bring Cole in, and there we go.
Ooh, is Cole eligible in 27, Dylan?
I don't know.
I believe that's the first year he would be
I think
eligible.
so.
Yeah, it's not a definitive that he would declare, but yeah, I think that's the first year he's eligible.
Is he playing right now?
Yeah, I think Chad's his coach.
Yeah.
No. Chad coaches the youngest.
He may have just entered the transfer portal.
Cole Pennington backed up by Rocco Beck.
Oh shit! Could you imagine?
Yeah, I think he plays for Marshall, but he may be in the transfer portal now. But
he
let's
plays
sign
for
Pennington.
He plays for Gardner Webb, transferred from Marshall. Yeah,
he's got 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year. How many games he played in? He's played in.
It's
looks
not
like
a lot.
Honestly, without knowing what happened here, just seeing like he played August 30th, 9-6, 9-13, 9-20. Then he didn't play again until 10-18. In true Pennington form, did he get hurt, and that's why he wasn't playing for like a month in between games?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. I don't think he's a real option.
Hey,
James,
it's irrelevant. He's an NFL quarterback.
Hell yeah, I like it, James. Good call. Give me all the Penningtons we can get. Screw the
Yes,
Mannings. I don't want Arch. I want Pennington.
Wasn't Pennington and Beck in the same draft class too? So whoever said Pennington and Beck, like that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
The
So
fullest of circle moments.
Chad came on my show at the Combine this year. I finally got to meet him in person, and what a great dude. He's coaching high school football because he's got multiple sons. So he's coaching, I think, his youngest, who's now the quarterback at whatever high school in Kentucky they're at.
And I believe that his name also starts with a C, which is why I got him and Cole confused. Dude, I went down on the field for Jets Bills, the game where the Jets danced during the TV timeout on the field. And I got to go down on the field that night and hold like the pregame flag. And coming off the field, I just saw Chad. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, Mr. Pennington. Like I called him Mr. Pennington. And he like snapped his head around. And he just like hit me with a smile. There was like people talking to him and stuff. But he heard me say Mr. Pennington. And he looked at me and he gave me a smile. It was awesome.
I'm happy for you.
Everybody's first jersey had to have been Chad if you're like in our age group, right?
Oh, yeah. Mine was.
Yeah.
I told Chad that. He loved it.
Yeah, 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine says, raffle me. What's the prize? A signed pick of Bobby's thighs? You wish. It is a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey, damn it.
Testy. We're in the realm. We're in the realm.
We are talking about Bobby Balls after all. Bino says, Cole had negative 59 yards passing in 3 years at Marshall.
They count sack yardage, but still, that's egregious.
They count sack yardage in college?
It counts as negative, yeah.
It's not separate like what the NFL does?
No, it's not net.
Why do I not know that?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
That's outrageous.
It counts as negative rushing yards, I should say, not negative passing yards. I'm sorry. Because Darian Mensah had like, I think it was like negative something yards the one game. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And he was getting sacked.
Totally fair. All right. It is raffle time, ladies and gentlemen. But Big Cho, for some reason, is still on the line. So I'm going to go back to him real quick. Big Cho, you there? Big Cho?
We're talking about Big Cho.
Cho, you there?
Big Cho.
Hey. All right. I guess not.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Tried to get a little Cho and chill at the end here, but wasn't meant to be, I suppose. Omar is in our Vinny raffle. He's literally putting himself in the raffle here at the buzzer. Omar, Good luck to you, sir. Thanks for supporting the channel. All right, good luck to everyone. Only one can win, though. If you win, though, you have to email me your name, your address, so I know where to send the signed Vinny Testaverde jersey to. Thank you to Mr. First Impulse for the super chat here. If you meant to attach a comment to this, please do so. Good luck to everyone. But your winner of the signed Vinny jersey is... Jet, Set, Go. Congratulations to Jet, Set, Go on winning the raffle. And I also want to shout out Jet, Set, Go because he signed up for the Patreon for the entire year. Hell yeah, he re-upped his membership. He was already a member. Hit the Jet chant for him. Let's go. Be like Jet, Set, Go. And join my Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Appreciate you, Jet Set. And I got your email, so I'll reach out to you about the Vinny T jersey. Congratulations. And again, thanks to everyone who supports the Patreon. Wrong Verve at the buzzer here says, great show, Jake and Dylan. Now, you just need to hit on those picks. I might need to make a t-shirt. Hit on the picks. Something about that.
Stick the picks. Stick the picks.
Unreal. Stick them picks. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Dylan Tereman. My name is Jake Asman. Dylan, plug your channel before we get out of here.
Yes, lots of draft transitioning going on my channel currently. I am going to be joined tonight by our favorite. Yes, Joanna Man style. I'm trying to further my career in basketball. Me and BJF, our guy Kev, will be on the channel in, we'll just say roughly an hour, between 7:45 and 8 o'clock. BJF and I tonight on my channel. Special Thursday night mock draft. We are spending all of Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji's top 50 picks in the 2026 class. We will be doing a nice 2-round mock. And yeah, come check us out. Dylan Tereman, just as you see down on the bottom. Subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. We're almost at 1,150. And just because of Nick Shine's comments, we're gonna say we're trying to push past Nick Shine. All right.
Love that. By the way, I meant to mention this earlier. I love the Raiders getting points tonight.
Yes.
Denver, when they win close. I just think this is too many points. I think it might even be up to 9 on FanDuel. Now, let me check to see the latest line here. It's still 8.5. So, FanDuel, I'm taking the Raiders getting points. I know the Raiders stink. I don't think Denver's that great, and I'm getting a ton of points. So, give me the points. That is my quick Thursday night pick. These odds, of course, brought to you by our presenting sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook.
I nailed it last week. I'm sorry, but I nailed it last week. I texted you. I said, I'll take the Ravens with all the points against Miami, and they destroyed it. And the under hit. So, yeah, Raiders with the points, and I'll say the under again.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's Dylan Tereman. My name is Jake Asman. StreamYard, you stink. Enjoy the magic of the Lane Train. Go Jets.
Hello, Jake.
Hey, Lane. How are you?
Great. Do you see the Jets possibly drafting, was it Dixon?
Dixon?
Yeah.
Who's Dixon?
He's out of college. Dixon Hall.
I'm actually not familiar with Dixon Hall. What position does he play?
QB.
So Dixon Hall, quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dixon Hall would be a good pick by the Jets?
Yeah.
I'm going to look into Dixon Hall, but your scouting acumen speaks for itself. All right, Dixon Hall to the Jets. Let's start the campaign, people.
Dixon Hall. It's almost like Knoble.
Yeah, but Knoble ended up being a great find by you. You were ahead of the curve.
Well, I did find that he got into an accident with his estranged girlfriend.
That's right.
I'm going into a house. He's alive. The 27 pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader? Like, I know every player. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
To the late trade.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade, you asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole, too. So
you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
That's the end of that rumble. Jesus.
He's more likable than you fucking old cunt.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Well, that escalated quickly. Jesus.
Yes.
Oh!
Hey,
Here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.